Hi guys. No, we are back. Now it's Steven Moffat. We're doing every episode of Doctor Who. If you haven't seen us tackle Russell T Davies, what are you doing? What you miss?
Why would you jump right into
Unless
Moffat?
you just haven't seen any of it. You just started from season 5. You can't watch the old stuff because it looks so cheap.
Yeah.
In which case, welcome.
This is expensive Doctor Who now.
This is a companion piece to an hour and 23-minute
video, which
video
we've now released.
Essay.
So, which is why we seem way less anxious now. We seem more relaxed, like it's because we've just put the video
feel
out.
a lot calmer, a lot happier. You know, thank you so much for the support on the video.
You guys have, everyone who's been watching and responding to the video and sharing it has actually been really amazing. Because after being gone for like ages or not releasing videos for ages, having people respond so positively was really uplifting.
It was really great because
was...
we put so much work into it, and then to see you guys actually enjoy it and be so great.
It felt good.
We made it all worth it.
But that's not what you're here for. You're not here for us to
also, thank you to Noda.
Noda.
For doing some fan art.
Thank
you,
Noda.
And also thank you to anyone who's gotten some merch as
merchandise,
well.
Repping the brand. Check it out if you haven't, nitpix.co.uk.
But we're going to go into
But let's talk about Series 5. This is Matt Smith's first season.
It's Steven Moffat's first
and
season.
Steven Moffat's first go at it. He's proved himself countless times, as we've been able to see.
He's proved himself.
You know, really, out of all the showrunners, he is like the best. Like, it makes loads of sense going into season 5 for Steven Moffat to be the showrunner.
Yeah.
What are your sort of key memories of, going into it?
So when Series 5 came out, I watched it as a kid, and I didn't like it very much.
I remember that as well.
Yeah.
I
watched the whole season, though.
So I didn't, I don't think. I hated Matt Smith up until we rewatched him.
Yeah.
Basically, for the first time. And now, since, my opinions, like, really changed.
Exactly, yeah.
It was really interesting watching this a second time with just, like, no expectations, because it allowed me to really understand what Moffat wanted to do with this season. And actually... funnily enough, kind of like Eccleston's season, this is the most concise. This is probably the best Smith season, although it doesn't have my favourite Smith moments in it.
Yeah,
I think
it's pretty darn good from my memory.
Yeah, no, it is.
I mean, rewatching it was so good.
Yeah.
When we
such
got
a
onto
pleasure,
it, we were like, oh my god, because
it looks sick. It looks so beautiful. It's so well filmed.
Yeah,
and
Karen Gillan's such a good actor.
Karen Gillan's a really fun companion, but Matt Smith
nails it.
Well, because
the youngest ever actor
but
to play the Doctor.
He also came on and he changed how the Doctor could be performed.
Yeah.
I've said this loads to you, but like Eccleston and Tennant were very good actors and they portrayed the Doctor so well. But when Smith comes in, he builds the Doctor as a character with an extreme in mind. He wants to portray an extreme, and when he does that, he embraces everything in the performance. So his physicality's changed and it's really strong, and all his intonations are really interesting.
He's a lot more like. He's much more of like a physical kind of actor.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just because of limitations of cameras and sets during the Russell T Davies era. But like he's just so good at like the body movement.
Yeah, and timing as well.
Yeah.
Little hand gestures and the little taps and the way he will have contact with a person is so interesting.
Yeah, Matt Smith can do like literally everything.
Yeah,
he's really good.
He's so much fun.
Well, let's go into it.
Let's go into the first episode.
The 11th
hour, which is an 8 out of 10. This was what got us going. This is the episode, because this is 11th.
Go on, you carry on.
Oh well, thank you. What I love about
no, but seriously, do carry on.
Yeah, thank you. What I really love about this episode is that it's like a really fantastic Doctor Who origin story, and it's like a simple, grounded story, and it's almost also a bit of a parody of Doctor Who stories at the same time. Watching Smith go through the regeneration, and he doesn't really he takes the alien conflict seriously, but the narrative doesn't take it very seriously. And actually it takes for granted that he will save the day. And so the focus changes and it becomes the interaction between him and Amy. And I really like that, and I think that is really what makes this feel really unique.
Well, so here's a little
tidbit.
The day before Chibnall's first episode, The Woman Who Fell to Earth, came out, I rewatched this and this was before we started rewatching everything.
Oh, okay.
So I just watched this, and I was like blown away by how fucking good it was.
Yeah.
And then that just made me really excited for Chibnall's one, because I was like, oh, it
First
doesn't matter.
episode,
Yeah,
it's
it's like
really,
a first episode though. We get to see a new version because this is so different to the Russell stuff.
Yeah.
And what Moffat does is similar to Science in the Library, where it's not just about the Vashnarada. There's also River Song there. This is not about like Prisoner Zero. This is about like Amy and the Doctor, and all the Doctor Who stuff is happening in the background.
Yes.
Almost like that's just like what's keeping it moving.
Yeah,
but really,
this is just another day for the Doctor.
yeah.
But the interesting thing, and the thing that's not just another day for the Doctor, is this weird cock up he's made with Amy Pond. Because he goes to her, he meets her as a child, he says he's going to come back, and then when he shows up again, he doesn't know, he's not aware of this until later. But he's travelled way far in time accidentally. And like we talk about that in the video briefly as well.
That's what I was going to say. We do go over quite a lot of the stuff that makes this episode great in our video.
It's really fun.
So is there anything we missed? I don't think so. Olivia Colman's sick.
Yeah.
She's in it. She's sort of underused, but...
Olivia Colman? Oh, yeah, no, yeah. I mean, she's always great. Yeah. She was really fun. The effects are jottery.
Yeah.
But like... all of this, basically Smith is really charismatic in this. I just think he's so likable as well, and I think it's like, you know, because I think when Smith came around, I wanted a less romantic Doctor, and especially with this season, it's much heavier on the sort of interpersonal romance between the Doctor and the companion, which is left later on.
But it's sort of there,
and that's why it bothered me. It sort of
starts, and then it ends with Amy marrying Rory. Yeah. So it's kind of like a false thing.
Watching it again. It's much more interesting than sort of the romance that's had with sort of
other companions,
Rose or anyone else, because Moffat's approaching it with the fact that he's an old man in mind. Do you know what I mean? And that's one of the things I wanted to say about Smith's performance is Smith seemed really keen to perform the fact that the Doctor was an old man, despite him being the youngest actor to portray him, in a way that the other actors didn't do it.
Yeah.
You know, I've always thought Smith's Doctor is like a senile old man trapped in a young man's body, and when you watch him like that, it's really fun, and it makes loads of sense.
He's electric. Matt Smith is electric.
NitPix, but the 11th Hour is really tight and a great way to
8
start.
out of 10. And then you got the Beast Below,
which is really fucking cool.
I really did like this when it first came out.
I didn't like it.
And then we rewatched. We almost skipped it. We were like, oh, I don't know about this. We gave it a go, and it's so good.
It's really great. There's so much to like about this. You know, England on the floating island is really interesting. It looks really good as well. It's like because it's almost like a little bit of an homage to New Earth.
I'm the bloody queen, mate.
Yeah.
And the Smilers. I'm like, not so keen on that.
I didn't mind the Queen as much, you know. I thought the Queen was fun.
She was
the
alright.
Smilers were like whatever.
Yeah, they weren't that creepy. But what makes it work is the ending scene.
Well, not only that, but the memory loss gimmick where they go into the booth and they can choose to forget things. So it's like there's this whole idea.
There's something really creepy about Amy Pond screaming, please, like, don't, just get out of
here. Yeah, and that's really good. And then that ending scene where you find out that the UK is on this like big monster
humpback space whale,
and then the Doctor, and then you see Matt Smith, you know, for the first time in real conflict. He's not cocky, and that conflict again really comes from an interesting moral dilemma. It doesn't come from, you know, everything's hard on me or anything like that. It's his wanting to save everybody and it just being this really uncomfortable
really
middle
difficult
ground
decision for him to make.
And it's the most interesting way for Amy Pond to prove herself as a companion as well, because it's not, she doesn't like save the Doctor or anything. She gives him the third solution that he couldn't perceive, and that's really cool.
And then the ending is pretty good, but they do really make it obvious. He's like, if you were really old and the last of your kind.
Yeah, it's a bit on the nose.
You saw a child cry. Like he was like, you couldn't have known. I've seen it. Yeah. Think about it. Really old, last of his kind.
Yeah.
Like, come on, Moffat. Calm down.
But that is Moffat.
Yeah.
Like, oh God.
So what do you think was better, this episode or The End of the World, the second Rose episode?
I guess The End of the World, the second Rose episode is like, I want to revisit that more, I think, but I don't know. There's a lot of different things that I like.
Okay, so final answer is you don't know.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which is why they both have the same rating.
Yeah, exactly. That was the
So
test.
it all comes round. Was you testing me?
Yeah,
you can't just bust out tests like that on me.
I'm always busting tests on you.
You need to love me unconditionally. You can't just come at me with...
You can't demand me to love you unconditionally.
What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm not demanding it of you. I'm just...
Let's not do this.
All right, you know, not in front of the camera. It's not.
But yeah, sick one.
It's 8 out of 10. It is really fun.
I don't know either which one's better.
It's really good. It's really good sci-fi goofiness, which is what like the Smith stuff has way more campiness, especially the first season.
Speaking of which,
no.
I'm Mark Gatiss.
So again, when we watched this though, we went in thinking it was going to be really awful, and it wasn't really awful. It was a 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
And there, you know, if you're because Doctor Who is camp or it's very dark and somber, and it kind of will fluctuate between those. This is a camp episode. This is definitely a camp episode. It's not a very good camp episode. But
it's better than Daleks in Manhattan. You know, I don't mind the Dalek evolution plot. I don't mind. I think it's really funny that the Daleks are like infiltrating like Second World War. And they're like, don't look at us, we're tanks. Like that's really funny to me. Like, as a concept, the fact that the Daleks devised that plan. I know this episode was better than what we thought it would be.
Yeah.
And I know it did have good parts to it. But right now, all I can think about is those multicolored Daleks. The robot Dalek man and him dying because he can find love.
But that's really he didn't die because he remembered how to love.
He was a bomb. He was like, I am a bomb.
That's what's hilarious. Okay, so the Daleks have infiltrated the Second World War and like, we're helping the British, and then they've planted a human bomb who's sentient, and has to realize like it was because we were like laughing at it. So you can't. I just don't think you can hate those things. No. I don't think you can call them bad. They're really camp, is what they are. Yeah. And for like
it
a
is
really
a bit of a letdown.
Yeah, for a Dalek
Winston
story.
Churchill, he's really well cast. It's a Dalek story with this Matt Smith Doctor, and like he doesn't. I don't think he gets a Dalek story apart from until Asylum of the Daleks.
Asylum of the Daleks.
So it's like it's a real shame that Matt Smith doesn't really get a good Dalek episode.
Yeah, it is a shame. It is a shame. But it's just a mediocre Dalek episode, and I think this is it. It's like Daleks are either camp or they're like scary.
Yeah.
And like we'd had really well done, like pretty scary Daleks up until this point.
Until Daleks of Manhattan.
Oh yeah, up until Oh god. But this was. I think this was a conscious embrace of campy Daleks, and it just didn't quite work. And I think in a modern context as well, campy Daleks just aren't really applicable in the same way, because you watch when you watch Resistance of the Daleks, Sylvester McCoy, like they are camp, or when we watch that Colin Baker one where Davros is literally like a talking head.
That one's sick.
It works doesn't it?
Yeah,
to a different degree, and I think that's just an aspect of the time as well. You can look at that from the 80s and go, that's
okay,
quaint.
But don't justify this episode because it is bad.
It's mediocre. It's a 5 out of 10. It's just like it's not bad by our rating. It's a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, all right.
You don't even dislike it. You agreed. You did. You're too proud to admit it.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I wouldn't say I'd rewatch this one, especially when it ends with them. They're in special space planes. And they're flying around in space. And they're shooting the Dalek spaceships, and they defeat the World War II pilots. Defeat the Daleks.
No, they don't. The Daleks just fly away.
They just fly away,
and they don't defeat them.
Oh, because the Doctor threatens them or something.
Yeah,
he's
something
like,
like
I'm
that.
a big bad man.
So, and it's a weird because Moffat just retconned these Daleks basically.
Yeah.
I reckon he had a plot for them, or he had something to do with them.
It's because they were too big. No, this is what he said. He said because they were so big, it meant that the Doctor to be framed within them has to stand really far away from them.
Yeah.
Because if he goes up to them, like you can't see either one in shot. So it made it really difficult to film it.
That's
so
a
he had to
bother.
retcon it.
But he had loads of fun little
Someone
tech
had
stuff.
to experiment.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was good to try. And they had fun tech stuff. So the idea was that those weapons could like circulate and be exchanged in the back for like other weapons and stuff.
I quite like them.
And I don't mind it. I don't mind the design particularly.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that bad. I think it's very campy is what it is. And I don't know. I think that's okay.
Yeah.
But
I think
if
all of them were the same colour, like any one of these colours, it would probably be okay. But it's the fact that it's multicoloured.
Yeah, except for the orange and grey one. If they're all orange and grey, that would make me uncomfortable.
Moving on.
Yeah.
What's next?
The Time of Angels and Flesh.
This is all
Flesh
right.
and Stone. We gave it an 11 out of 20.
So 5 and a 6. That seems about
which is just
right.
generally that would be like a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, because this one's deeply conflicting, isn't it?
It's like a bit. It's like
it is almost really good.
It's got some good ideas, but it's got also a bunch of like naff ideas.
Yeah, there's loads of little. Okay, so there's loads of little baby stone angels, and they're creepy. Oh, I think they're actually in the other one. I don't know if they're in this one.
Well, they have all the angel stuff in this. I think it's just adult
they have
angels.
the babies. No, they don't have that. Scrap that.
Oh yeah, where they go and they blow out.
Yeah, I think that's in the Angels of Manhattan,
which is a much stronger,
better angel episode. Yeah, because I mean, he comes back and he does a sequel to Blink, like the most iconic New Who episode.
Yeah,
and he just fucks it by making them move.
Yeah,
it's like he forgot what made them great.
He starts elaborating on their law, like the image of an angel is an angel, which is really stupid. Never brought back or explored again.
Yeah,
and that's weird.
Why did he do that?
I don't.
River Song gets brought back as well. He does River Song and Angels all in one, and it's a bit like I've been waiting for a long time for both those things to come back.
And I think that's what it redeems it, is the River Song stuff with Smith is really fun in this.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah.
Her stuff with her with Amy as well, and talking her mum. Yeah, but her interacting with her is pretty good as well. So that stuff I didn't mind.
Yeah, it was pretty good that she'd already met Amy, so she was all like, "Oh, I'm Amy." To her, and she's like, "I know."
Yeah. And there's that really good thing. So there's that really good moment where they kill the guy, but he keeps talking through the microphone. Angel Bob, which that was really fun as well. I mean, it was a good excursion because this is the first time where Smith goes like, tries to go dark. Really, I think it's not trying to be playful.
I like the bit
much.
where the guy's in the headlock. He's in the Angels.
The
guy from Game of Thrones.
The guy from Game of Thrones.
In the headlock, and he's like, "Just go without me."
Yeah. And there's some really.
She's a prisoner. She killed a man.
She killed a man. That's right. And there's some great, like, all the chase sequences in the caves and stuff. You know, there's loads of good stuff like that. And there are some good...
slowly counting down.
Yeah, and the angels realize, and her stuck on the thing. That's a really good sequence, right?
Oh, and then she's handcuffed. And it's dark, and the doctor comes over and talks to her. But it's not that doctor. It's the doctor from the crack, because he goes through the crack at the end of this. At the end,
does he?
Yeah. So it's a different doctor. It's a doctor from the future.
Oh right. Well, the doctor who ends
and
up...
she's not locked up. I think she's just blind.
Isn't she turning into an angel and her hands are frozen?
No, yeah, she's like stuck or something.
Yeah,
something's
stuck.
happening.
Her hands frozen. It's turned into stone.
Matt Smith, but it's not Matt Smith.
And he talks her out of it.
It's from the future. Just comes and says some nice words to her and then goes away. But then you see it again in the Pandorica episode.
Oh.
And that was really clever.
That's cool. Yeah. So this is pretty good.
But I don't like seeing the angels move. That's a dumb idea.
Yeah. And overall, like, he defeats the angels, but just opening an airlock. They all, like, come over. And
just like Doomsday.
Yeah. So it's all a bit... Yeah, it was a bit of a tight situation. The way they got out of it was a bit loose. Yeah. You know, it's an 11 out of 20. It's like a 6.
And they don't send people back in time in this one.
No.
They just kill them.
They just kill people, which is what... Because they're in, like, survival, aren't they?
It's like, I would have rather just had, like, a River Song episode on, like, with something else happening, and then, like, an Angel episode on it. Like, I just... It's like... It's the fact that he combines two of them and doesn't really...
You know, and the Angels lose quite a bit once they're up against the Doctor, I feel.
Yeah, they do.
They do lose something.
It loses that horror aspect.
Yeah, they do. It is true. It's just like once they're up against the Doctor, you know, they have a huge group of people.
It's just not very thought out as well.
It's Doctor in a cave
how
story,
are these, like,
people getting picked off.
How are the angels supposed to live? Like, the idea is that these are like these ancient creatures, like...
Well, isn't it that they're all, like, nearly dead anyway, and then they start, like, regaining power.
Or something.
They're very, like, weak.
Yeah.
Which is maybe why they can't send people back in time. It's all right.
It's all right.
It's all right. Like, I can watch it.
Yeah,
like, I can watch it and enjoy it.
It's got some really fun scenes in it. It's goofy.
And Smith, it's fun to see Smith in that tension and going all a bit soldiery. He does it well, I think, as well.
Yeah, I like him talking to Angel Bob. Oh, yeah, at the end, he's got a gun.
Yeah.
He's like, there's one thing you should never put in a trap. Me.
Yeah, that's right. He does do that. And then he turns all the lights off. Yeah, it's all right.
It's all right.
It's all right.
Welcome to It's All Right.
Welcome to It's All Right, Vampires of Venice.
2 out of 10, I feel maybe is actually a bit mean.
Have you rewatched it recently?
Bits of it.
I was thinking about it, and I was remembering there is like, because this is the first adventure Rory goes on.
Yeah, it is, and also the doctor intercepts the stag do.
Yes, that's
the
right.
wedding.
And he wants to fix their marriage.
And he wants to fix their
Venice.
marriage,
and
yeah.
that's quite fun.
Yeah,
It's the opening, and then
it's
once
Toby Whithouse, so it can't be that bad.
and once it gets into the vampire stuff, that's fun as well.
Yeah.
And it's not that fun.
No,
It's not that fun.
it's just quite forgettable, despite
is.
all that going for it.
Because there's like Rory running around and he's getting all jealous. Is there so much Rory cucking in this?
Yeah, there is a lot of Rory cooking.
This
We did
whole
watch it
run
all.
of
We did
Moffat-
watch all of
We
this.
did watch the whole
yeah.
thing. Helen McCrory's really good in this. The leader of the like she's a really good actor.
Yeah.
It's a shame again. It's a bit
It
of a
looks
waste.
good as well. They look
Yeah,
great.
yeah. They look. It's nice design, and there's some funny moments.
Yeah, I guess for us it just didn't really.
They're like fish people in the end.
Yeah, they are.
But it's
They
just,
are.
like, really
and they've just
dumb.
got the form of vampires.
Yeah. And no, it's just like how they show is how
Right,
they look
yeah.
in their disguises, which is like holograms or something.
Yeah, I guess it's just because it is vampires in Venice. That's just what it is. And
It is. And it is just the Doctor coming up against them. Well,
Yeah, I guess there just could have been a bit more gothic aspects to it.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been quite good.
and I think once Rory's there, there's not that much done with him either.
Yeah, if
And once they're in Venice and doing the mission, it's like not actually that
I
compelling.
would have liked it if this is my pitch for this episode, because we can't really talk about much about it. My pitch is the stag do happens, takes them to Venice. One of them gets bitten by a vampire. Then they go back, and the Doctor's trying to like control him or like sort him out, and he's like infecting people in the village, and it's like it's gonna like affect their marriage, like the wedding reception.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
I like Smith hanging out with Rory and Amy kind of
Yeah.
thing. Just hanging out with them.
Just hanging out.
Or like interfering with their lives. That's always fun. And
Yeah.
that is like what this is what I liked about Moffat later on is well, it starts happening now, is that Amy is not just the companion, it's actually Amy and Rory, and they're like a married couple traveling
Yes.
with the Doctor.
Yeah.
And that's that's really interesting actually, and like I think that leads to loads of really good narrative
I
moments.
like
later on.
Rory. Like, I
Yeah,
like
and
him.
Rory's pretty
Yeah.
good. Like he's a soft boy for sure.
He's
but
a very soft
once you
boy.
once you just go Rory's a soft boy, he's
Yeah.
like good fun.
Do you like Amy and Rory together though?
Listen, Amy is definitely like a horrible girlfriend. Like she's definitely like a really cruel girlfriend to Rory. And if he was my mate, I would tell him to
leave
ditch her.
her,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely, I
Look,
would.
mate, I know she's hot,
I know
She's
she's
really
way
hot.
out of your
Yeah,
league.
I
I
know.
don't know why she's with you, bro.
but you can't do this.
You
to
can't do
yourself.
this. It's like you're torturing yourself. And like
She's with someone else.
like
Her
she's just
imaginary friend.
She's genuinely like
that she draws.
She like
and-
genuinely wants to. She sees this other man as like a god, and she clearly wants to fuck him. We had a running joke. Well, because we were always like, oh yeah, like Rose. She's
Rose is an
definitely
adrenaline junkie.
You know,
she just
loves
needs
it.
that kind of thrill.
But
yeah.
whereas like Amy was just like empowered to run travel with the Doctor out of like pure sexual desire for him.
She's constantly in a state of arousal
She's
all
like,
the time.
"Ah," yeah.
She's like, she's like, oh, these angels, it's getting pretty sticky in here. She's like, Doctor, I can't see. Where do I go?
Because that was a bit of a thing. Is like because like.
This is
sort of
because Karen
Rose-
Gillan's like really good at acting.
And
She's just
really-
really wide-eyed
yeah.
at the Doctor.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd have loved to have seen her with Peter Capaldi.
Yeah, I would have liked to have
Yeah.
seen that as well. You know, it would have been nice to have seen her like less worshipy of the Doctor, because that never
Yeah.
quite changes.
No, she does get a bit towards the later seasons. I think she
gets
gets
a bit
less.
bitter at him.
Yeah, she does actually.
I don't think so.
No, she will in the we'll get
get
to
there.
it. Anyway,
All right,
Vampires
Vampires
of
of
Venice,
Venice,
2
2 out of 10. We probably underrated it. a bit.
Probably.
Probably like
It's probably a 4 or 3.
probably a 4 or a 3. Yeah, that's fair.
Amy's Choice.
This is really interesting.
This is the
episode.
one with
the dream guy.
what's his name?
Yeah, little boy.
Little man.
Little man.
Little man. Hey, it's me, Little Man.
Hi guys, I'm Little Man
From Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
I was in Sherlock.
He's in Sherlock.
He's in all sorts, and he's in Doctor Who. He's not.
He's in Dark City as well.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Is it? I guess it was Moffat then.
Anthony.
It's Moffat that's like started the tradition of like, oh look, we've got a guest actor.
No, we've got actors.
Ooh, look, that's an actor.
No, they've always had actors in Who.
They have.
Every British actor says yes to Who. It's easy.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Who do they have this time? No Benedict
Robert
Cumberbatch.
Gatty, the guy from Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah, he was good.
They had Alan Cummings.
He was.
But we're not talking about that.
Okay, sorry.
We're talking about Amy's motherfucking
choice.
choice.
What do you reckon?
She got a choice between having the baby or not having the baby.
That's not the choice.
Oh.
That is not
I
the
thought
choice.
it was her in the clinic, like the whole...
No.
Amy's choice. Listen,
this was my favourite. It's all Earthbound and it happens in real time, and Amy's got to choose.
No, this episode's pretty good.
It's
isn't
fun.
It? It's the Doctor, isn't it? That's the twist. Is the guy torturing them is the Doctor, or like an evil Doctor? He's like part of his subconscious. Or something.
It's something like that.
Because he's wearing a bow tie as well, and Rory's got a mullet.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And it's all
It's
it's
pretty
dream
good.
stuff, and it's reality bending, and that's fun.
It's really good for the season in terms of like what it's doing with the characters, how it's establishing this new version of the Doctor, this new approach to Who. Because this is not even an episode that Russell would do, even though he was very character focused.
Yeah,
there was never an episode where Rose had to do something. Well, there was the Donna episode in season 4, Turn Left, which is quite Donna focused, but. She just comes out of that being like, oh, I don't know, it's like in another place. She doesn't even retain any of it. Whereas this is actually building the relationship.
Because Amy has to choose what's reality, doesn't she?
Yeah, she has to choose the reality she prefers.
Yeah.
Or something.
But it's good. But it's like a non-traditional Doctor Who story.
It's two Doctor Who episodes in one.
Yeah,
and they keep jumping between the two with
fun.
that guy.
And they keep trying to deduce which one's real, and then the twist is like none of them are.
None of them are, yeah.
And then they're all cold, is it?
Yeah, something.
And they get some blankets.
It was like the TARDIS happened. Like
it was TARDIS action.
It was like they were
or
going
some dust.
Yeah, it was some special. It was one of those MacGuffins.
It was like a space dust, or the TARDIS was doing.
It was all right. It's pretty good.
It's fun, man.
Not one of my favorites.
I don't ever want to. I never want to rewatch it, but then when we watched it, I was like, "This is really fun. I like this a lot."
Some good TARDIS shots as well.
Yeah, there's great TARDIS action, and there's also like some really nice. I mean, some of the sequences on Earth with her pregnant are really interesting. Them sitting on the benches and chatting and like falling asleep.
Yeah,
like,
they keep
what the fuck? Like,
yeah.
That's great.
It's action paced. It's fun. It's just there's nothing really stand out in my opinion.
Not massively. Not massively.
Oh,
Hungry Earth and Cold Blood.
9 out of 20.
Well, that's like under.
Yeah,
that's
I know.
Like under.
It's 4 and a 5.
It's 4 and a 5, which is what it is. It's like
we've spoken about this one.
We've spoken about it.
It's
basically,
not good.
it's like.
Is there anything else to say about it?
It's boring.
It's boring.
Yeah, it's just the setting's not that interesting. The aliens aren't.
Set in the future.
Set in the future. Where's the Kindles? That's just me revisiting.
Yeah, let's just do the video.
Yeah.
So it's a bit like the Israeli-Palestine conflict, but
instead it's lizard people.
You be David Icke.
Just because I said no, I don't want people having that. Me saying that as a soundbite, I could get me into trouble.
What are you going to put on the news?
Could do.
Top story.
Could do. Could do. Who knows, mate? I don't know who's out there. They could be after me.
Could be.
Could be.
Yeah. It's not good. I don't know. Like what else? Oh yeah. So Rory falls into the crack in this episode, which we did speak about. I just cut it because
because it's irrelevant.
It's irrelevant. It doesn't. It's
not about
the episode.
It's not what was written in this episode.
The episode's not about Rory at all. Like if Moffat was going to say, at the end of your 2-parter, Rory needs to get sucked into a crack, you make it so important to focus on Rory. Yeah, this is not something Chibnall does really at all.
No, actually. I don't think so.
He's got a thing with one of the women.
It's very standard, like it's a very standard like Doctor Who Under Siege episode for a bit. and a very standard Doctor Who in like a base episode for a bit.
I like that he tries to get a peace treaty with the Silurians and the humans, but then the mum is just like, I'm going to drill you up.
Yeah, and that's it. And then that's a bit... Ugh.
And they've all got like those weird guns.
Yeah.
And the Doctor's
so
screwdrivering
something I like, I didn't... Yeah, he's screwdrivering the guns. That's tedious.
Yeah.
Because why?
Why would they even have guns? If that's like, just get rid of the guns.
Yeah.
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 It doesn't make it action-packed.
It just... So I do quite like the design of the like sets. I think it looked nice. Again, all of this looks really good.
The Silurians are completely redone as well.
Yeah.
And they don't look bad.
No.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't know. They're not that interesting, is the thing. They are just lizard people.
Yeah. They're all quite humanized. Like,
yeah.
They act like kind of like people.
Yeah.
It would have been cool if they made them more like Klingon-esque.
Yeah, or giving them
like
some
in
sort
Christmas
of...
Invasion.
For God's sake. No, I don't want them to be like Christmas Invasion aliens either. They're shit too.
Someone commented on our video who had a picture of the guy from Christmas Invasion.
Oh, really?
And it was the name was the name of the alien race.
Oh my God.
Supposed to be.
He just loves them.
That guy really loves them.
Shout out to that guy.
Shout out to that guy. Is that it? Do we have to say anything else?
Check out our video on it.
Yeah,
like, we do really like pick it apart quite closely.
Yeah.
It's really like slightly below average.
Yeah.
And that's really kind of the worst of Who. It's like forgettable.
Yeah, it's totally bland.
And it's
for
just
a classic monster as well.
For a classic monster to be
I never really liked the
revisited
Silurians anyway.
as a concept.
Yeah.
I quite think it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I like that it enforces the
We have
reality
to watch
of
the
Hollow
John
Earth.
Pertwee one, the first one.
Yeah, we should check that out. We should
Maybe
probably do that today. Yeah, all right, cool.
right.
Well, that's our plans. Next episode.
Vincent and the Doctor. 8 out of 10. Bloody brilliant.
Right, really good.
The best historical run they've done ever,
Probably.
I would say.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's just really pretty. It's really unique. This is one of the things about this season of Doctor Who is like... one of the things I really like about this season overall is like every episode feels really distinctive.
Yeah.
It's really aiming for something specific. Even if it's not doing it well.
Yeah.
It's aiming for something very specific. This is that energy, and it's done to the best of its ability, really, where they're aiming for this very specific thing, which is celebrating Vincent and exploring depression and kind of celebrating his art and looking at that.
But it's also really funny as well.
And it's funny, and he's really well performed, Vincent.
And Amy kind of has a thing with him, which is really cute, but it's like an unsaid kind of energy, which I really like.
But she has a thing with everyone.
Not really.
Doctor.
Like she genuinely. No, she genuinely like. It generally seems like both of them are mutually attracted to each other, but they know it won't work out.
Yeah.
And I like that little detail. I don't even know who wrote this, but they did a great job.
Yeah,
I mean, I just love the opening. They're like, "What's that monster in there?"
Yeah.
And then
let's
they
go
like,
find
and then
out.
they go, and he's in the middle. They walk in the middle of an argument.
Yeah.
And then like the Doctor offers to pay, and he's like, "I don't want your money."
Yeah.
He's
Vincent's
like an
really well
arsehole.
characterized.
Yeah.
He's
But
a really
he
fun
looks just like
and
him
he
as
looks
well.
loads like him.
And then they could become like really good mates.
Yeah.
Like all three of them become really good. Like
they're hanging out. They're just hanging out.
Like what's so great about it is because other historical episodes they just so happen to run into them. They're like, oh, Rosa Parks just so happens to be here, or they go like, oh,
Charles Dickens.
Oh,
is that Shakespeare?
Wow, Shakespeare's here. What a chance! But in this one, they're specifically going, we need to find him.
Yeah.
We need to find him to find out what this monster is. But the Doctor just wants fun.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm here looking at his art. Like, the real reason is like, oh, I just quite like to meet him.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
So they go with the plan of meeting him. And they just
then
like,
it unfolds.
they're just all mates.
And then it really has a really, I mean, that
it's
monologue
got a
at the
Skins
end-
vibe.
It's got Skins. Feels like Doctor Who Skins, but with like Vincent Van Gogh paintings.
Yeah, because he's like depressed and he's like, ah!
Yeah, he's kind of like a Cassie.
Yeah, absolutely. And the ending's brilliant.
And the ending's really nice. Bill Nighy.
It is Bill
showing
Nye.
that-
Someone commented being like, that's not Bill Nye.
Yeah,
And it is.
It is Bill Nighy. Yeah, and he's I mean, he's so likable anyway.
Yeah.
But
He's the perfect person to do
the
it.
way he does
Yeah.
it feels like a really sincere sort of.
I tear
Thank
up
you.
every time I see
Yeah,
that
it
bit.
gets you, doesn't
does
it?
get
It's
you.
really nice. And so yeah, it's like very beautiful. It's probably one of the prettiest ones as well because they filmed like. Because they filmed some of it like outdoors, didn't
Yeah,
they?
they used sets. They actually went to wherever the hell Van Gogh's from.
Yeah. So it's like
Netherlands.
Netherlands, Puerto Rico. Brazil?
I don't know where he's from.
Isn't he from France?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I just said I don't know where he's from, so he could be.
France.
I reckon he's British.
Anyone who's worth a dime in this world is.
Anyway, moving on.
8 out of 10.
8 out
Really
of 10.
worth watching.
Check it
Really
out.
worth watching.
The Lodger.
The Lodger.
My name is Jim Gordon. Doctor.
So we don't like this episode very much because we don't like James Corden, but we really like Matt Smith.
Matt Smith is quite good in this.
And he's really good at because Matt Smith chilling out doing nothing. Putting like Matt Smith's Doctor in suburban life where he can't like do any adventures is always really good.
Yeah.
And like just seeing the Doctor like interacting with like human beings, like normal humans.
Who's the villain of this episode?
It's blah, 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 blah. There's some aliens. There's just
Really?
some aliens, bruv. Is it Cybermen? Isn't it Cybermen
No, that's the
both
next
times?
one. Is it Cybermen both times? It can't be Cybermen both times. Wow. Well, that's why it's a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, fucking villain's not memorable.
I know
You'll
he's
probably tell
building
us what it is.
I know he's building.
There's like a spaceship.
He's building
tracking
something. He's tracking something, and then the ending is him.
Isn't there like mold? Isn't it mold that keeps going in their apartment? I have some memory of.
Oh
like,
yeah,
mold.
isn't there something in the house that's always been in the house?
No, I swear it's like an invisible spaceship that's on top of his house.
On top of the house, yeah, and he's somehow got to kiss her.
But that's not
he's
even
got to like say that he loves her to save her or something.
Really? No way.
Yeah, he's got to say like because it ends with them getting together. But
It
that's
does,
like a
but I
part
thought
of
that
the
was
plot.
like a side part. I didn't think it was main
No,
part.
I mean it's like an absolute.
Well, that's why it's a
'cause he
6 out of 10
He tells him to kiss the girl. He says, "Kiss the girl." And, yeah, and I really like the scene when he talks to her and he inspires her to go traveling or to go to the monkeys thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, why don't you go?" And she's like, "Too much money." He's like, "No, it's not."
Yeah,
And she's
yeah.
like, "Oh, okay, maybe I will go."
Yeah. Smith just talking to people
Yeah.
generally and like meeting people that he'd never hang out with and just doling out advice and people being really impacted by that. That's what's the best thing about this episode.
This is the best episode of Doctor Who to watch with your mum.
Yeah, your mum would love it.
Yeah, your mum would love
Your
it.
mum would love it. I'm talking to you. Your mum would love it.
You know who you are.
Yeah, you know. She's probably already talked to you about it. She probably watches
And
the James Corden
afterwards,
stuff.
she'd turn around and go, "Yeah, I agree with the NitPix boys. 6 out of 10. Moving on.
That's right. Pandorica opens the Big Bang. This is a really good. This is what like gives the season really nice cohesion.
Does Moffat ever get better than this with season finales?
No,
I love how you got the Jejune in there and the Sontaran.
because they all show up.
Yeah, but they're barely in it.
Everyone's in it. Everyone's in it. That's the point, Sam.
Why don't they just kill him?
So
They
this
put
is
him in a box.
this is really fun because this is before Moffat becomes incohesive and like you actually know what's happening, but it's really like hectic and loads is still happening, but it keeps its pace.
It's
and
really
it keeps
good,
its,
you know. It's a lot
really
better
good.
than you remember it being.
It is.
Yeah.
It is every time.
That's how I
it's
describe
really
the
fun.
whole season.
Yeah.
Series 5, a lot better than you remember it being.
You go in blind. There's loads of fun.
Yeah.
Because this whole season is brimming with loads of fun sci-fi
Yeah.
ideas. Like actually, almost every episode does have some
Yeah.
fun idea to a degree
Yeah.
that you can go, that's quite cool. And this has like the Doctor jumping all about time, which is
I
brilliant.
really like him with the
Yeah,
time warp
yeah,
thing
that's so
later.
fucking great.
He's
Like,
just jumping about and saying like, "Oh."
yeah, because you know when I first watched the season, I did think it was like quirkiness over depth. But actually, when I rewatch it, like it's not really the case. It's like there's plenty of depth to be had here, and Matt Smith is portraying loads of nuanced stuff. And this is just this really hectic culmination where been this box and this mystery built up about the Pandorica, and that's all really interesting.
And the cracks.
And the cracks, which
Oh,
don't
yeah.
come into play
Moffat
yet.
has spoken about how he doesn't explain why the TARDIS explodes.
Great.
So I don't know why it explodes. But
Yeah,
neither does
there's
he.
loads of unexplained
Yeah.
shit in Moffat's
He
runs.
doesn't care.
Like one of the things you have to like could go into this is like this is like it's part of one of the joys about Moffat's run.
Yeah,
but it's
his
also
sci-fi
one of
is
the
a lot
worst
bigger.
things.
He does a
It's
lot.
really big in scope.
Weirder, whack
And
science
it's
fiction.
but it's so wacky.
Because I don't think
so far
Russell
out
could
that you-
ever do all the villains shoving like
The
David
Doctor,
Tennant into a box.
no.
I don't think he could do that.
I don't think he'd want to. But Moffat does.
Moffat
and that's
does, yeah.
And I'm glad it's here, though. And it is
Yeah.
really, really crazy because you have two different, like, doctors taking care of
Yeah.
shit. People are dying constantly.
And
coming
River
back.
Song has yet to be ruined, so
And,
she's good.
Yeah, River
Yeah.
Song's really good. Yeah, it's just fucking chaotic, really,
Yeah.
really fun. And it's like...
The
really
ending, Amy brings back the Doctor by wishing him into existence.
Don't they just reset the universe?
Yeah, they do reset the universe. It's like, something new, something old.
Oh, yeah, she remembers him.
borrowed,
No,
something
She remembers him, yeah. She tries
And
really
he
hard
just
to remember.
appears,
Do you know,
yeah.
to me, though, that's like actually, in a way, one of the least, like, hokey... it's like one of the least hokey
Compared to
finales.
what we've seen, yeah.
Compared to, like, Super Saiyan Tenon. You know...
what I'm going to say.
I forgive you. Or is it just, it's okay?
No, he says, I forgive you.
Oh
Yeah.
god! So this in sort of frame of that is like the Doctor is like desperately trying to keep everything together and sorting everything out. So he just keeps on, in the second half he just keeps on jumping all through
Yeah.
time. There's the bit where he's
It's quite-
shouting at all his villains like, "Listen to me!" And that's
Yeah,
really fun.
that's quite fun, yeah. I
and-
do like the idea of all the villains being in one place.
And deciding to trap the
it-
Doctor is like really funny.
It's a
so
bit
garish.
Yeah, I kind of just wish if it was one race that were trying to put him in the box, maybe that might have been a bit more thematically coherent.
It might have felt a little
Because
bit.
I think it does, but the fact that there isn't really an antagonist of these two parts is a bit.
Yeah, and one set antagonist.
Yeah.
But the through line is him trying to re-bring the universe together that's in
Yeah.
complete collapse.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And that... Because the Pandorica is just like another really large obstacle that gets in the way of that.
Yeah.
And so they have to escape this trap, this prison, whilst also fixing the universe, and through that they reset it. So the only thing is the Amy and Rory romance. Because I think
Doesn't he wait 4 million billion years for Amy?
And by this season as well, like I haven't been sold on their relationship.
Yeah.
And I watched Rory do that, and I'm like, bro, you're being cut. Like you're just like punishing
He's an
yourself.
auton.
He
Yeah.
becomes like an auton for a bit.
I
and he's
quite
a
like
very-
that.
Yeah, I quite. But
Yeah.
he stops being an auton.
He should
They
have.
fix
He
it.
should have stayed an autumn.
When the universe resets, he's not one anymore.
Yeah, he should have stayed one.
Yeah, that would have been fun. wouldn't
Imagine the Doctor walking around with an auton as a
it?
companion.
Companion.
He's
Yeah.
like, take him out, Rory.
Why would the Doctor do that? He would never.
So,
Overall season.
Oh.
Oh yeah, we got the Christmas special. Yeah.
shouldn't
so...
this be in the next season, or is it?
No, this part of it.
This
That's
is
what
by the
BBC.
BBC.
say. Yeah, this is the BBC. This
I
is
love
what they
this
say.
one. I
Christmas
bloody
Carol.
love Christmas Carol.
It's fun. Yeah, it is fun.
It's really good.
It is really fun.
Matt Smith is the best Christmas specials, I swear.
He does.
Yeah.
No, he does. He's consistently has the best ones.
This one's proper good. It's a Christmas Carol reinterpreted into Doctor Who in the most like wonderful way.
It's really whimsical. It's really like fun, but it's also like it does have an edge. It does have like a darkness.
It's very
to it.
easy to skip this one.
Yeah.
Like if you're just you
'Cause
look
it looks
at it
shit.
and you're like that's gonna be awful.
Yeah.
And you stop. You just
Christmas
don't give
Carol.
It a chance.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
We've already had
Muppets
Dickie-
did it. Are you gonna beat Muppets? No. Like so.
I
Piss
think
off.
it did beat Muppets,
Bro,
For me,
hang on a second. No, it did not, because this isn't a Christmas Carol to begin with. This
yes,
is,
it is. What does
no,
it say right there?
Just because it says it's not a Christmas Carol. They pretty much throw away the past future thing. It's just the Doctor like, taking him and the girl on like loads of adventures.
Yeah, pretty.
But
much.
that's really cool.
Yeah.
And the idea of I think really what
It's
sells
got
this is
just-
the concept, which is just the Doctor needs Amy and Rory are on a spaceship that's crashing to this planet, and this man has control of the weather, but he's a cunt.
Yeah.
And so to fix it, the Doctor travels into his past and treats
tries
him
to
really,
change him as a person.
tries to change him as a
Breaks
person.
a million laws.
breaks
of
a
time
million,
law.
million years of time, but fuck it, it's a Christmas episode.
Who cares?
But that's a really fun idea with time travel. That's a
Yeah.
fun concept to work, and that's the thing that, again, could only be done with Doctor Who. Well, and
I
only
just-
someone who like Moffat, who does enough coke, would think of doing it.
Well, it's like Moffat's like this is his first Christmas special that he's gonna do as showrunner, and he just really like fucking shows Russell up completely.
Yeah.
Because firstly he's like think about it. How do you even put a Christmas Carol into Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Like, making that make sense is difficult, but yet he makes it all make sense.
Yeah.
He builds up to it. Then he also adds like this motif of like fish,
Yeah,
like, in space.
That's really beautiful.
Which is so
floating
brilliant.
fish, and the shark
and the frozen
sequences
woman,
and stuff.
like
Yeah,
the
there's so
cryogenically
many.
freeze woman who's like sings to
There's
the
so
fish.
many great little Christmas
How
sci-fi
the hell did
melts.
he come up with all these
Yeah,
ideas
it's
to
really-
make just such a wonderful
Coke.
like oh
Okay, so she's cryogenically
it's a shark
frozen.
it's a shark.
Fuck!
Yeah.
My only real problem with this is the way that it ends with them on the sleigh of the shark being like, ha, ha, ha.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
That is a bit naff, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's just fun, and it's got the guy who played Gandalf, not Gandalf, fucking the other one, Dumbledore, and he's really good as well. Like, obviously, he's a good actor.
Yeah, he's
but
perfect
he's
for
well
it.
placed.
Yeah.
But yeah, Moffat really, because like. I'm sorry, Russell
The kid
T just-
acting's good in this
The kid
as well.
acting's pretty
Yeah.
decent. Russell T like made shit Christmas specials. Like, I'm sorry, he
Yeah,
just did.
but
But like Moffat really reframes what a Christmas special can be
Yeah.
and feel like. And I think it's because like this doctor, Matt Smith's Doctor, is more suited to that as well. He is more sort of fantastical and fantasy.
You got to look into why does Doctor Who have Christmas specials? Because most people watch TV, so it makes money. But aside from that, Christmas and Doctor Who, they share like a lot of similar values
yeah.
and like ideas and themes.
Yeah.
It's all about like, you know, love and
Caring for
cherishing and
people.
family and this
loving the world
loving
and
the
being
world.
aware
And
of-
it's also got
yeah.
this whimsical like, wow, it's magic. Like this kind
well,
of.
because it's like this is
and
a door with like the
Russell-
universe is like
And I think Moffat's really shown us how to do a Christmas episode.
not only once as well, like a couple times,
At
like
least
actually
twice.
at least 3 times, I think.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Anyway, so final season rating
is a
6 out of
solid
10.
6 out of 10.
Solid 6 out of 10.
Which is
So
great, yeah.
That's the best rating it's had since season 1, right?
Yes, yeah, this is be out of 10 in seasons consider by like a point pretty much, and it makes sense. I prefer this season over any of the Tennant seasons just because they're like all of these are built around breaking formula and trying new things out with the format of Doctor Who as well.
Yeah.
And I think it's like it had again, unlike what we're
They're
going to see.
see that it's got low battery.
Oh, we've got low battery. We're back. But yeah, this season is like more interesting and more experimental than the Tennant season. I think really one of the things that draws Tennant season back from being really special is that it is not trying a lot of new things. And when you get Eccleston's, it's all fresh and it's all the best of that. And then Tennant retreads a lot of the same elements of Eccleston's season.
Because even when... Okay, so standard episodes in this season. So, like, you think of Vampires of Venice, which is basically, like, the equivalent of...
Shakespeare, the
It's
historical
got
one.
historical figures in. Is there anyone without historical figures?
It did have a historical
Did it?
figure. Yeah, I think the Queen or something.
Anyway,
I can barely
But
remember
you
it,
compare
but it is
that
the
to,
first
like, the Witch
historical they
one.
do,
You compare
yeah.
that to like the Witch one, Shakespeare Code, or you compare that to the one with the werewolf, which is really good as well. But what they do is they also bring in the whole Rory Amy aspect of it, and you have like different. It starts off in modern times, and they go back, and there's like.
It's already
the aspects
jumping
of time
and-
travel and character
Are way more highlighted in
yeah,
this season.
exactly.
I think that's what it is. Is like Doctor Who. This season feels really like a time traveling season, and there's loads of time travel stuff in this, and it's cohesive. Like it works. Where later on, it's always a time traveling season from here on out, really strongly. But there's problems with that. This retains a cohesiveness that makes it really fun. And Matt Smith and the Doctor and Amy Pond have a great chemistry.
Yeah, this is one of those things where it's like, it's weird that like Doctor Who is a show that you just quietly enjoy on your own, really.
Yeah.
Like mostly you just sit at home and you watch it and you're like, oh, I like this.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
your friends are like, oh, I don't like it. And you're like, you don't get it.
Well, it's weird. Like what I realized
So
is
I was
like,
just going to say that you can just quietly enjoy the whole of season 5 on your own.
Yeah.
If you've got if you just want to call in sick at work.
we
binge
enjoyed
the
it
whole
quite a
of
bit together.
just watch the entirety of season 5 and you're like, it's quite good.
This season is campier. It's like a bit campier and it's a bit more playful. But it's not less mature because of that, I would say. I think lots of people seem to think it went into the realm of immaturity.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of really interesting like sci-fi ideas and
Yeah,
writing things.
the angel episode is quite dark.
Yeah. And
this Vincent and the Doctor. It's got very
it's
very
it's
adult
mature,
films
it's
and
mature,
ideas,
and
yeah.
it's because people are like dying constantly, and that's not the focus, but it's actually it's a little bit more nuanced. In
Yeah,
other ways.
I mean,
I think it feels less soapy as well,
Yeah.
and it's really filmic, it's really cinematic as well from here on forward.
I mean, you've got the first 2 episodes which are really good, and then you've got Vincent and the Doctor, which is really good. So within those 3 episodes, you have like a solid present day, future, and past story that are all like 8 out of 10, like solid good episodes with a very good interpretation of the Doctor, all within this season.
And then you've also got the other. Oh, you've already said
and you've got the 2-parters,
the Pandorica 2-parter.
yeah,
is
and
really good.
the Angel one, which
And
are
the
both
Angel
like
one's
really
pretty
enjoyable,
decent,
watchable, and fun.
So it's like a
So,
really.
yeah.
It's actually a really well filled out season.
So we're not Moffat apologists. We just genuinely quite enjoy this season.
Yeah, it's good. It's solid, man. Like I don't know. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a little break, and then
Yes, we are.
and then we'll get back at, and we're gonna do the rest of.
There's going to be a short ad commercial.
Yeah. Bum bum bum.
Introducing sponges from Asta. Look how much they absorb.
Introducing Fat Instapix.
What?
Do you want your Instapix to make you look fatter? Get Fat Instapix. Right now, install it on your mobile phone.
You could you could look a little bit more bloated.
You're looking well skinny, aren't you? Get it, Fat Instapix. And we've returned. We just took a little comfort break.
Yeah, because we've been talking for an hour
About season 1. And now we're doing Doctor Who season
6.
6. Now this is where, Moffat really went a bit off the rails. He just went a bit overboard. Me and Sam like to imagine Moffat's like writing team as just him on his own
In his office.
ranting to chairs.
Just in his office, like, and then River Song is the child of Amy. Yes. And someone comes in and is like, yeah, Stephen, we just went over the new script. Really like it. It's really great in places. Just wondering about like the Weeping Angels. Should they move? Should they...
Get out! Get out!
Get out of here!
Get out! I need to write the script! Get out! Ah! You don't understand, man! And this season is kind of brimming of that. But
I didn't watch it when it came out.
no, me neither. I tried to. When I started watching the first 2-parter, and I was like, I hadn't seen the first season, so I was like, there's been a shit ton I've missed. Which, actually, in retrospect, there wasn't. It just made no sense.
It just acts like there's loads you haven't seen.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
there isn't really.
There isn't really.
I didn't even give this season a chance when it came out. I think I just had grown up.
Yeah.
And I was like,
And you were like, fuck Doctor Who. It's
Yeah,
a baby show.
little tiny
But
baby men.
actually, again on the rewatch, like
It's not that
going
bad.
into this,
Yeah.
there's lots of moments in this season which are good.
Yeah.
So let's kick
It goes a bit weird with this season because it's loads of 2-parters, isn't
this
it?
whole this whole season's like whack as fuck. No, it's not. It's not loads of 2-parters, but it does it in reverse. This season starts with a 2-parter, but doesn't end with one. I think.
Well, let's go.
We'll
into
find
it.
out. Yeah. Do.
The
Possible Astronaut, Day of the Moon. This is a 15 out of 20.
So one's a 7, one's an 8.
And it's I
enjoy this, yeah.
It's fun.
I
Like it's
enjoy
fun. It's a really interesting.
I like the opening.
Yeah, I like the opening. It looks really good. The whole aesthetic, setting it in like 60s US, and this whole like alien Roswell with Nixon espionage stuff. It's a real like cinematic thing. This is almost like a Doctor Who movie. This whole 2-parter.
This whole thing is a Moffat movie.
But also, like, you need the context of the of from Tennant upwards to actually know what's happening.
You don't really.
Well, to understand the river dynamic and
the river
Amy
dynamic,
and Rory,
yeah,
which are
yeah.
quite central to this, because this has Amy's like weird backstory in this as well. Like
little tidbit.
little tidbits.
Is there's a Doctor Who Anion story from 2007. I can't find it anywhere. It might not be 2007. It might be 2008. But it's about creatures that are perfect at hiding. And the main character is all written as an MSN log. The main character is is like someone who feels something on the back of his neck, and he hears a voice, and he sees a creature from the cracked mirror, and he's like, "You won't see me again." And then David Tennant turns up, and he's like, "That creature killed your wife." But anyway, when I heard about this, I was really annoyed because I felt like Moffat had fully ripped off that Doctor Who annum. But he probably hadn't read it.
No.
no
Even
one's
if he
read
had,
it.
he's probably just drawing on it subconsciously.
Yeah.
But I think the silence in this is before the silence are dopey. I think they work as like the villains in this, and I think they're fun antagonists.
I just wish they could speak, you know. I think it's a whole bit... The fact that they just go...
No, they do speak.
Do they?
Yeah. They're like, we will destroy... You know, they've got... That's what they do. He films them on the camera phone and then reveals the footage. They do talk.
And everyone sees them.
Yeah, they do speak.
Yeah.
You idiot.
They
Looks
kill
like
them
I'm
all.
the Doctor Who expert now.
They kill them all, and then they forget that they killed them.
Yes.
Right.
Pretty much. It's just, you kill them on sight and then no one can remember them. But it's like the moment you see this, you got to kill it. They want to destroy you.
I like the fact they see the Doctor get killed, and then it's a younger Doctor.
Isn't it an older one?
No, the older one gets killed, and then the younger one comes in.
We have the younger one.
I got an invite too. And the way that Matt Smith plays the two different versions is really great, because there's very subtle differences. And it's really cathartic to see like Matt Smith and River Song meet up and like they know each other.
Yes,
that feels
nice.
really good.
And they're really familiar with each other.
Yeah.
And I love the whole conspiracy element of it. I love them drawing all the lines on themselves
I like
as they
that
forget.
he's in that weird box, which is like fully spaceless.
Oh yeah, that's called the prison that they built, and it's all like there's loads of like
loads
fun
of sci-fi stuff.
This to me is like a genuinely like really solid two-parter.
And then the second part is like a year later.
Yeah,
aren't they doing this shit for ages?
Yeah, they've been doing
it's
it
a
for
month
ages.
later.
It's like a month later. It's like, but it does time jump, and they've been on this road.
And they've
for
all
a
gone
while.
on different missions to fight against the silence.
Yeah,
and the doctor turns up at NASA, I think.
Yeah.
And he's all like...
It's all spacey,
down.
yeah.
Yeah, and he sits down and he's like, "Listen, I'm in charge. Nixon's giving me special permission."
Yeah. And the actual whole aesthetic, this looks really good. The whole era looks really good. It's a genuine solid two-parter. The big thing that lets it down is like all the context you need.
Yeah.
I think and how much it ties into things after.
It didn't need to be this dense.
No, this is it. It's so dense that like you couldn't jump into it.
But I think
you
he's
need
playing
the
with like the whole season arc thing, because him being killed by the astronaut is like important for later on.
And also like, you know, actually like what it is it's really rewarding if you stuck with Doctor Who. So if you've watched all of it and then you go into this, it's rewarding you for that kind of loyalty.
Yeah.
And like actually like doing that and like allowing that to be the case, it's not good. It doesn't give broad viewership. But if you love Doctor Who and if you're into Doctor Who, this is like a really satisfying watch as well. I don't think there's like that much else you could really say. It's like solid. It's really good.
It's good.
Yeah, and
that's why one's a 5, one's a 6, one's a 7.
Yeah,
that feels fair.
Yeah, it is. It's really fun. Yeah. I really enjoy
neither
it.
one of them are 8 episodes. They're not as good as Vincent as the Doctor or Beast Below or the 11th Hour, but they're pretty watchable, pretty fun.
And they're lit. There's like a really good setting, and it's really weird, and the aliens are good. Because like 6 out of 10 means like it's enjoyable. And there's
let's go over the ratings thing, because you guys think we've underrated episodes. 5 out of 10 is like average. It means it's watchable. It's not bad. 5 out of 10 is like not a bad rating. It just means it's not done anything particularly great. 6 is like pretty enjoyable fun. 7 is like you would watch it again, like you would happily go back to it. And 8 is like really good.
Very good.
9 is like exceptional, and 10 is perfect.
Yeah,
so,
in our criteria.
That's
and then
how we rate.
4s will just generally be like forgettable.
Yeah.
And then 3, 2s and 1s are just like huge messes that kind of annoy us and we can't watch basically at all.
Yeah.
And like, you know, this being like that 6 and that 7 is like, that just means like they are, and the Doctor Who needs those episodes as well. You can't, if all of them were like 9s out of 10s and stuff, like, you know, it's nice to have those episodes. You can sit back, relax, and enjoy. And they are there, and this is like really in line with that. You know, it's really fun. Yeah,
cool. The Curse of the Black Spot.
See, now this is just like
10.
Doctor Who doing pirates, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah.
We're doing pirates now.
Amy's
like,
cringe.
Amy's.
Isn't it Blackbeard? Is it a specific pirate?
Yeah, probably. It's like, whatever. It's an interesting approach to a historical, but, you know, it's so gimmicky.
It's so boring.
It's so gimmicky as well. So we're pirates. We're doing pirate stuff.
This is a pirate episode.
Black spot. What is it, like a disease or something?
No, the black spot is something the pirates would get, which meant you're going to die.
Yes.
So
And then
I think the black spot was related to... Isn't it mermaids? Is mermaids in this? Did I make that up?
I don't know. I can't remember.
We can't remember this.
This
it's
is
a 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10. It's a forgettable one. It's
I
not,
don't really have much to say about it other than
Don't watch
don't
it.
waste your time.
Yeah, it's not even worth it.
The
Doctor's Wife.
All right, now
9
we're
out of
in.
10. And this
9
is
out of
this
10.
is see this is the thing about season 2 is it's got loads of really unique special moments.
So the best part of this episode is the ood. Who comes back.
The Ood comes back. This is just like this is Neil Gaiman,
This
like
Neil
so
Gaiman.
Neil Gaiman.
Yeah.
But he's having loads of fun, and the Doctor and the TARDIS becoming a person. She's personified super well. The relationship,
villain,
between the asteroid that wants to consume things is really funky.
Oh, thank you, Doctor.
You know, again, it's like it works, and this is the tone that I really love. That's really unique to Matt Smith's season, which is really gothic-y.
Yeah.
Matt Smith often will go into these really gothic-y, fantastical, fantasy, whimsical realms, and this is full of that. And that the junkyard planet and the people who sewn bits on. It's dark as well.
Yeah.
He finds an old Time Lord friend arm, and that
There's
freaks
some
him
good
out.
time shit in this as
Yeah.
well because the TARDIS is just able to predict says shit from the future.
Yeah.
It's great. So funnily enough, Neil Gaiman he just said something quite nice about Moffat.
Ah.
He just was like, I quite like Steven Moffat. And then Moffat was like, I bet he's a Doctor Who fan. I can get him. That's what he was like, I can get him.
And he did.
So they went to dinner. And then in that, he's like, I want you to write an episode.
Yeah,
And
and
he's
it's-
like, cool. And a few months later, he just phoned him up. He just kept on like coming up with ideas. And Moffat was like, no.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he phoned him up and he just like was like, oh, this is my idea. And he was like, cool, let's do it.
Yeah.
Then when they were filming it, Neil Gaiman turned up on set.
Ah.
And Matt Smith is like, he's
Oh,
just going
yeah, I
like,
bet he's
he's just
nerding
going like,
out.
this is Neil Gaiman. This is Neil Gaiman.
Matt
He's like, I
Smith is
can't
amazing.
believe it. Neil Gaiman's here.
Yeah. I mean, Matt Smith is just great. His favourite band's Radiohead, first of all. I know this. I saw a video and he had my favourite band's Radiohead, and I was like, cool. Like, similar energy. But also, what's fun about The Doctor's Wife is it has like a bunch of shit that like is ripped off by Stephen Moffat or other writers in
Yeah,
later
other writers
episodes.
rip off loads of aspects of it.
'Cause
The
the-
thing with Amy, I saw this. I remember I did see this episode when it came out.
Yeah.
I remember watching this one and I really liked it.
Yeah.
Really, really liked it. The stuff with Amy and Rory, like in the TARDIS,
So
and then they
fucking
age
good.
Rory, and he's like,
Oh
I
my
hate
God,
you.
it's so
And he's, like,
good.
written like Amy in blood all over the
that
TARDIS.
shit is so dark, and
It's
she
so-
finds his corpse when
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
looking through the TARDIS. So good.
It really preys on both of their insecurities.
Yeah,
like,
it's
perfectly.
really perfect.
Neil Gaiman's is just like, oh, cool, Amy and Rory. I'm like, fuck with them.
Yeah. Because this is another one of those cases where why this is like a really good Doctor Who episode is because it's that perfect blend of campy concepts with like real dark, disturbing concepts, and they're meeting together and they're
Yeah.
actually working together as well.
They do work really well together.
And that's what makes it like the best, because that's that really specific tone that Doctor Who can hit.
And what also took me by surprise in this episode is that when the TARDIS like has to leave the body, Matt Smith's performance, he like gets teary.
Yes.
And it's so good. It's so beautiful.
Also, another thing I really like about this is his home built TARDIS. His like impromptu TARDIS that he has
It
to
looks
whack
sick,
together.
yeah.
It looks so good.
Yeah.
It's a little new TARDIS desk, and you
Yeah,
see him
yeah.
travelling, and it's like a little shield. It's like an exposed TARDIS,
Yeah.
and that was really fun as well.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
all of that shit. It's sick. It's tidy, man.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, you just got to watch it. It's really good. It's one of we just love anytime Neil Gaiman comes on. We're just like, we love this.
Yeah, it's great.
But
he
yeah,
knows what he's doing.
he does.
He's so smart.
And his episodes don't feel like any other episodes. And so this is like, sick.
This whole season by this point is like really weird. Isn't
It's
it?
really
Yeah.
funky because you've opened up on this two-parter, which is a real like solid Doctor Who episode. Curse of the Black Spot, where you're like, ugh, get me away. But then you go into the Doctor's Wife, and you're like, this is weird, because it's not even like, it's just another Doctor
It's
Who
not
episode.
like a really great Doctor Who episode. It's just like really good science fiction drama.
I
that's just
don't
really
know.
odd and
I don't know.
nerdy
It's
and,
very
yeah.
uniquely Doctor
Yeah,
Who.
yeah,
I would argue
absolutely.
that. Like it's very uniquely Doctor Who, but it's not tied into the greater plot of anything.
No.
It's just a single episode, which often are the best anyway, and it's told really concisely. And it really takes advantage of all the characters and makes the most of them, whilst also bringing in the character of the TARDIS and really making her a character
This
that
is
works.
definitely in my top 5 episodes, I'd say.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Yeah, probably. That's probably another video. Hello and welcome to
Two.
Sam's Top 5. I want you to do this.
Midnight.
I want you to do this, and I want you to do it all in that voice as well, and with a PowerPoint presentation on your own.
Hi guys.
If you want
Top
Sam
five.
if you want Sam to do that, comment and ask him to do
What about
it.
you? What will you do?
I won't do it. No,
you've
I've
gotta do
prepared this
something.
whole PowerPoint presentation. It's your turn. But you should do it solo.
You should do.
Well, if you go
you
on.
should do like top 5 villains.
Top 5. If you want us to do our own single,
Independent.
but we'll do it in a weird voice as well. We do the whole thing like hello and
We'll wear an
welcome.
anorak.
Oh yeah, exactly. And I'll have a fedora on as well. Sam will shave a mustache for it,
No,
won't
I
you?
won't.
He will.
No way.
But it's really good. Check out the
You always
episode.
make me
Shave my
must.
beard, for fuck's sake.
The
Rebel Flesh, the Almost People.
So this is written by the guy.
Who did Luther?
Yes. No. Maybe Neil Cross. I don't think Neil Cross did this one. He might have done.
I don't know.
It was a guy who showruns. He did Life on Mars.
Right.
And he wrote an episode in Russell's era, which was also by the guy who did Life on Mars.
Yeah.
I think it could be the guy who did. It could be Paul Cornell, but I can't remember.
What do you think of this episode? We gave it a 12 out of 20.
6 each.
6 each. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like it's again. Again, this is working off some really weird concepts. This is a solid 2-parter. There's some really fun stuff.
Because I
in
was
this.
watching this and I was thinking, because the guy who wrote this is why I've just said that. The guy who wrote this he is a prominent showrunner, and he has written before he was written one in the Russell era, and he's written something else in the future. And I was thinking, what if he was the Doctor Who showrunner, this person? Because this is these are 6s. They
Yeah,
aren't
yeah,
great episodes.
No, but
there
also
is something really unique and
about
interesting
them.
to them.
And again,
Yeah.
this has again a nice little balance of campiness and darkness.
'Cause
It's just not like it's
to
just
me,
not.
this is like a better version of the Silurian episode, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
no,
It's
no,
this
it
group
is,
of
it
people.
is.
It's in the near future, and they're drilling. And
Yeah,
like,
and then they've got these
yeah.
duplicate clones of themselves,
Yeah.
which is really interesting. And then it's once they start bringing in the double doctor, which gets
yeah.
it gets really fun.
Well,
then.
it gets into the same themes as what Chibnall was trying to do with the Silurian episode, because they're kind of fighting each other, and the Doctor's like, "No, please, come on, guys.
Let's
like,
have peace, yeah.
there's a way that we can, make this work." And it does it a lot better.
Yeah,
It does it so much better.
It does.
And I really like the captain woman.
Yeah,
in this. She's really good.
Actually, the ensemble cast generally
they're
are
all
all pretty
good.
good.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this, because oftentimes, like with the Angel episode, actually, there's a lot of characters that are like throwaway in that. But in Rebel Flesh, Almost People, like everyone you quite like, and everyone's
Yeah.
got a distinct character.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone has a backstory, but also their duplicates all feel quite distinct, and you really understand where they're
Yeah.
coming from as well.
Yeah.
It's
but it's
good.
only a 6 because it's not quite great.
It's really hard to say.
It's not
yeah.
scary.
It's not
It's
scary.
not particularly funny.
No,
And it's not particularly exciting.
And I guess you
Yeah.
don't spend enough time with the people to get really invested in
the
it.
sci-fi concepts is like good enough to make it interesting
Yes,
consistently,
yeah.
and the character writing is good enough
Yes.
to make it interesting
And
consistently.
do you know one of the things that I think that lets it down a little bit is like the location and color palette. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't look as interesting as it actually
Yeah.
is. Like,
Yeah.
and it's very like grey and dark and dim, which I suppose suits it. But it would have been
yeah.
fun to have found a more interesting way to kind of relay these things visually as
Yeah.
well.
I think
Because sci-fi lives a lot
also
for
the
its set
scale's
design.
quite small.
Yeah,
Because
it's all on
it's
this
just
base
in this
and these
base,
three
and
people.
it's just like and it's just like clones of them. There's not this sense of like, oh, what's the threat really? Like,
Well, because
yeah.
they're trying to get to Earth
Yeah.
to replace
I think
them.
it
They
could
want to
have
kill them
used-
to replace them.
I think it could have used with more like horroristic elements.
It could it could have used some more horror
because
persuasion.
there's something really creepy about like a version of yourself like hunting you down specifically, who knows you really well.
really well.
Yeah.
There can be something good about that.
Yeah.
And it was very much them in these like dinky costumes, like in these weird costumes,
talking
which were all a
about
bit grubby.
ethics
Talking
for
about
ages.
ethics and being like, we're gonna come get you now.
No, don't
And then
get
at the end,
them.
there is that CGI monster as well.
there?
Yeah, and the clone doctor sacrifices himself.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, Yeah, but Clone Doctor's really fun.
Yeah.
And Amy being a huge dickhead through the
Matt
whole
Smith
thing.
doing an impression of like 4 different Doctors is fun as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Would you like a jelly baby?
Yeah, does he do that in this? Yeah, I can't
that's
even
the
remember.
one because he's like, ooh, he does an impression of.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He
It's
does
really
Christopher
good.
Eccleston, I think. as
Oh
well.
yeah, he might. He,
Yeah.
does, he says fantastic at one
Yeah,
point.
I saw
doesn't he?
footage of Matt Smith and Christopher Eccleston meeting for the first time.
Oh wow.
It was at some sort of weird convention, but like someone just filmed it and they just give each other this big hug.
Oh,
It's really cute.
that is cute.
Christopher Eccleston's beefy now.
Is he?
He's like thick.
He's probably getting ready for something.
4.
4.
The darker world.
Yeah, that's right. I hope so. Fingers crossed, eh, gang?
Anyway.
But and I love the Doctor fucking with Amy, who's like, yeah, because she's all like, we got to kill these people. They're like evil, these clones, and then she's like, I could tell who's who. I could tell the difference. The Doctor's like, no, you couldn't. No, you couldn't. And then she gets all flipped out because she's like, you're the right Doctor. And he's like, yeah. And then he's not, and she's like all like flipped off, and then she's all like, come on then, come with
Rory
us.
makes friends with one of them.
He has a little bit of a flirt with someone.
Yeah.
He actually cucks Amy a little bit
Yeah,
in
he
this one, which
does.
is refreshing.
Yeah,
which
he
is
does.
refreshing. Finally.
Finally.
Because that's something I didn't talk about actually. Another thing that gutted me a bit in the first 2 parts is Rory is still really, really cucked. And it's like, come on, man. He established himself. Do you know what I mean?
But with the Neil Gaiman episode where he's like, I waited for you.
Yeah.
And he's like really showing some of that like kind of resentment.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. But then in this, he has a little bit.
Yeah, I don't. I wouldn't say it's particularly spectacular, but it's not.
You could
bad.
skip it if you wanted
Yeah.
to, but also like I think if you'd watched it, there's
You
a
don't
lot
have to watch any of it if you don't want.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like whatever.
You just
You can probably watch
I won't
something
rewatch
else.
this probably for a long time, but when I do, I'll probably go. That's better than what I thought it would be.
Yeah, see, I think there's more to this than we will. Again, I think it will surprise us again.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of. I think
It's
Double
a good
Doctor is
reference
really good.
point. Like,
Yeah.
if I think it's a good episode for Doctor Who writers to watch.
And you are right. There is a weird number of 2-parters in this.
I told you. A good man goes to war. 5 out of 10.
Yeah, this is the
I'm
one.
a monk.
I'm a monk.
I'm a
This is
monk.
the headless monks. This is. Oh god, this gets really hammy. This is the biggest problem. Is this gets like weird. It's like
I think we gave it a 5 because it's got moments.
it's got moments.
Yeah.
I mean, the opening montage.
I like the Doctor going to war.
Yeah, the
as a
opening
concept.
montage of them collecting all their allies, and you see space Cybermen, which is always cool.
Oh yeah, Space Cyberman. That is sick.
Yeah,
Actually.
yeah. And you have them all
Yeah.
get destroyed. You have him circling about the place. All the setup is actually kind of good. The build-up is half decent. There's that really good bit where the girl dies, and he's like, "Yeah, I remember you. I told you to run, didn't I?" And she's like dying, and she's like, "I thought you wouldn't remember me." He's like, "I remember everyone."
Oh.
And then she dies, and he goes, "What's her name?" And he faked it. And like, oh shit! So all of that, the stakes feel like well established. It's
Rory's
just
dressed as a Roman again.
Rory's dressed as a Roman again, which is always a win,
Yeah.
because he doesn't look like so much of a cuck.
Yeah, because there's a twist, isn't there?
The twist
Yeah.
where it's
Was that in the last episode?
this is the twist at the end of the flesh
Yeah.
ones is she's pregnant and then she
Yeah.
gets kidnapped.
Yeah.
Then she's kidnapped for a while. Now we got to get her back, and this is
Get the hell out of
this is
here.
the barrage on that.
Yeah.
There's the blue man. Them going around and recruiting things is good. It's once you realise that River Song's the child, and there's a really lengthy scene where River's just like, look. And there's a really she's like, no. And she's like, that's right. I'm your daughter. I'm your daughter.
I am Pond Woman.
Yeah, it's and you're just like, ugh, and there's not a good twist really.
It's awful.
It does not feel
It
right.
does awful.
It doesn't feel
because
good.
it makes River Song fully attached to this era of Who, when
Yeah.
actually she should have been beyond.
She
Amy
should have been
Pond.
separate from all the companions.
Because that's the way
yeah.
she's like, oh Donna, like oh you're Donna, like it's like you're just Donna. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, you're Amy, you're just Amy. Like,
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
you're Clara, like whatever.
For sure.
Where like with the fact that like Amy's like so important now to the
Yeah.
whole River Song thing, it just kind of ruins it a bit because I just kind of feel like it wasn't necessary. Like
No.
actually, like Moffat's trying to do this epic twist, but he doesn't need to.
No, and
He doesn't actually
it doesn't
need to.
feel. River Song didn't need that.
If
It
River
was
Song
just
had
enough
just been
that
like,
they
Amy,
had.
listen to me, I promise you, one day you will find your daughter. And then
Yeah.
it ends on that note. That's like even
That
stronger.
feels stronger, and it is
Yeah.
the way it's conveyed. It's
Yeah.
so theatrical
and also
and
the
dramatic.
idea that the baby was conceived on the TARDIS, which therefore makes it a magic baby that can regenerate. it's like, well, okay, then it's easy to make Time Lords. Just get a bunch of people in the time TARDIS and just
fucking,
and then you get loads of Time Lords.
Well, she's not quite a Time Lord. She doesn't have 2 hearts, does she?
No.
But she can regenerate.
She's got Time Lord-ish.
Yeah, she's got Time Lordish qualities. And then, this mystery had been built up.
I just feel like Riversong should have always just been a person. I just feel like making her specifically important and special and like, woo.
Yeah,
it's just
it
like,
just doesn't feel great. It doesn't feel that great.
It's like, it's basically, Riversong was so great in Silence of the Library because she was just a person that knew more than the Doctor knew.
Yeah.
And then when it's like, when he adds details to it and makes it
more
more
also
important.
would have been really interesting if they played on the fact that actually they lost her and that she was like sent into a horrible like facility and stuff. Like, it's the fact that she's just like, don't worry, it's all forgiven, like it's okay, I'm happy, I'm great. And actually, like, if she was more bitter, that could have been at least something more interesting.
At least there would have been something there.
Yeah, but there wasn't even that, and it's like, oh, it's all fine, you've lost your baby, but you'll get her back.
Also, it would have been great if in the episode, in one of the episodes, Riversong meets her for the first time. We see Riversong meet Amy for the first time, even though she grew up with Amy.
Yeah, well, she doesn't, because she loses her and then she grows up elsewhere. That's the idea.
But then she becomes friends with her in school.
Oh yes, that's right.
So if you scratch that and then she meets her for the first time, she's like angry.
Yeah.
At her. But all the other times she's been really nice to Amy.
That would have
been good.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, you can make Amy her mum, but just don't do it.
If you really want to, we'd rather you didn't. But come on, man, if you just want to take a bunch of coke and make this like emotional scene.
But this episode doesn't really focus on River that much, really. It's just at the end. And I think if that
it's
ending
all about
wasn't
them saving Amy and shit.
If that episode
it's about her baby and shit.
Yeah, if that episode wasn't there, probably be if that ending bit wasn't there, probably be a 6 because it's quite fun.
It's kind of fun.
It's quite action paced.
And the doctor, and it gives this mythos of the Doctor and how isn't it revealed that they also helped him trap him in the Pandorica, or they're like after him still?
Yeah, or they are the Silence or something.
Yeah, that's right. Never mind that he reset the entire universe anyway, but whatever.
Whatever, we won't think
fuck
about
you.
that.
No one should know who the Doctor is, but okay. Or maybe they do. It's never really explained. That's the nature of the Moffat world. But there is some fun stuff in this. It's fun. It's like a fun romp. It's just really dumb.
It's just really dumb at the
and
end.
it is quite surface level. I don't think it really excavates a lot. It all plays around with time travel. Not like the first season finale where he's jumping all about time, trying to restitch back the universe. This is like the world of the Doctor Who that's been established, and then the Doctor's like really pissed off.
It just feels a bit like Moffat's dropped the ball a bit. A tiny bit. And then,
it falls flat. It does fall flat. This whole thing doesn't really give you the pep. And it doesn't feel satisfying because it's all a bit vague.
Similar to like Turn Left, this is like an episode which is fully about like the characters and like the plot within the companions and the Doctor and Riversong and all that stuff. It's not so much like, oh, let's just take these characters and put them in a fun place. It's like a very like TV, which is not which is Moffat's style. He wanted to just make the Doctor more of a protagonist, more of a character that's going through changes and movement, and I don't mind it.
It's all right,
but you have to have seen all of the other Who to get
this. Will be completely nonsensical to anyone. This whole season is a bit like that.
Yeah, exactly.
This whole season's a bit like that.
Yeah, and that's why people say that Moffat makes very convoluted.
Yeah, it's like if you've watched all of Doctor Who, it feels a little bit easier.
If you've watched all of Doctor Who, it's like easy to follow, I'd say.
Yeah, but
it's for babies.
It is for babies, but he's not trying to bring in new people.
Yeah, he's not trying to make us he's not trying to. He doesn't care.
Yeah,
about trying to make people understand it better.
And when you take it for what it is, it's good. It's all right. It's a 5 out of 10, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Do we have any more? Yeah, let's
kill Hitler. Oh dear, is this the first one?
It might be.
Is this the only one?
It might be.
Should we kill Hitler?
This shit is shit. It's so shit. I mean, I'm sorry, but there's nothing about this that's that good except for one thing, which is probably why it's a 1. Is the little microbots and the tiny people.
Yeah.
But they don't do much of anything anyway.
They're completely. They don't really do anything. Yeah.
And the Doctor's dying in this because of the poison. And then she gives him the regenerations for him to survive. And River's been their mate
for ages, actually. She's been their mate for ages. She's been friends with them, and this is their best friend.
Because this is just clearly like Moffat, like...
Because Moffat, look, mate, listen, mate. If you were to put her in the 11th Hour, then, you know, completely fine.
Yeah.
But, like...
You didn't even do that.
I swear Moffat was just in a hole at this point. It really feels like he wrote himself into a corner.
Yeah, and he's just desperately trying to get his way out of it.
Was there a gap in between these episodes? Did they do, like, the first 7, then take a break, and then come back?
I don't know. I wasn't watching it at this time, was I?
Yeah, because I feel like they might have done. And then this is like the first part.
He is in a new costume, isn't he? He's in the green coat, so there is like a little bit of a revamp.
I feel like that's what they did.
But this is
I think he
awful.
wrote himself into a corner because then he's got to resolve this whole where's the baby?
What happened to the baby?
What happened to Amy's baby? How is it River Song? How do I do
weird
the child in the...
At this point as well, like River's like been their mate, but she's like an assassin.
Yeah, she's been trained by the people who kidnapped her to assassinate the Doctor.
And it's just... and also at this point, it feels a bit conflicting because the actor who plays River has aged as well. So she's like looking older.
Yeah.
And it's like, actually like... It would have been... We thought it would have been a really good opportunity to revamp River's song with like a different regeneration and then bring her back later.
Yeah, exactly.
That would have been pretty neat.
2 River songs. Yeah.
Why not? Like... actually have a bit of fun with it, but it goes straight from that to River, and she's just like an assassin, and then she realizes the Doctor like loves her or something.
Yeah, because I don't even mind the actor who's playing like the different version of River.
No,
I don't even mind her.
Spending a couple episodes with her could have been all right.
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded that much. Like he didn't need to rush into this. It felt like he's really like didn't think any of this through.
Yeah,
and he just went with like, oh okay, he's their best friend, and that's how she gets in the TARDIS, and they're gonna kill Hitler, and she's River Song, but she's trying to kill the Doctor.
It's just fucking dumb.
And then the Doctor.
And then Hitler spends most of the time in the closet.
The Doctor is dying, and then she puts her regeneration energy into the Doctor.
And that's her last regeneration. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she poisoned him.
And then she regrets
and
it.
Do you know, it's really dumb when you just start making a plot mid-season that plays around with the Doctor's death. Because like no one's buying it.
No one is buying
it. It doesn't instate any tension at all.
It's just such a shame because it's like...
And this is where like Smith does actually... I think Moffat ends up letting Smith go more into the quirk than the thing. Because he like goes to die, he's in the TARDIS, and then he like changes into a suit and a top hat, and he's got a cane, and he's just like... whipping constantly.
Yeah.
And it's not really... there's not really much depth that's like added to him.
It's not really an episode where loads of things happen, but then nothing happens at all. It's like the guy should have just calmed down a bit, just done the best friend trying to kill Hitler, Doctor explaining why that's wrong, then this guy in like the robot costume, in the robot thing, and it's all these little tiny small people inside a robot man, and that person's trying to kill Hitler, and they're trying to stop it while also trying to deal with Melody, who's this new character that's been thrusted onto them.
Or maybe just give us a break from River for an episode. Like, do you know what I mean? We've just had like a big episode with her.
Well, yeah, I mean, I just make the reveal of her being River later on. Make that a thing that happens later on or something, you know. And have her trying to kill the Doctor in a more subtle kind of way because he's so smart. Like, he was going to see poison and guns and stuff coming a mile away.
But he didn't, did he? He didn't see the lips. She did get him.
Yeah, he let himself get poisoned.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
No.
So that River could use up the rest of her regenerations.
To just fuck with
her. So that in Silence of the Library it would make sense when she died.
So he could ditch her. The Doctor's all about finding ways to ditch his companions.
He just didn't want it to not make any sense, you know. He really wanted it to all make sense. So he let himself get poisoned.
This episode's shit. Just skip it. Just don't watch it.
Night Terrors. We tried to rewatch this recently. I swear this was the last modern one we tried to watch.
Yeah, maybe. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Just after Let's Kill Hitler, it's just all...
It's yeah.
It's just all like, oh god.
It's all that ooh.
Because people complain about season 9, but...
Do they?
Yeah.
Which one's season 9?
Capaldi's second season.
Oh yeah, shut up.
But then this is at this point, very few bangers. I mean, there's the Doctor's wife, which is great. But at this point, it was a bit tiring.
Yeah, you're going through a lot because this is like a 6 out of 10.
I can't even say anything about this episode. Like, what even happens in it?
There's some kind of interesting
like
stuff.
dolls.
They're on a council estate.
Don't they get turned into dolls or something?
It's kind of interesting seeing Matt Smith on a council estate.
Yeah.
Because like the Eccleston's was like council estate based quite a bit.
Yeah.
Tennant's was, but like Matt Smith was definitely much more of a fancy boy. So it was nice to see him in that environment. I can't remember it, can we?
Why don't we give it a 6? We
I
must
don't
have
know.
thought it was alright.
It was alright.
Yeah.
It was like going in an alright way, and we were like the right.
Let us know in the comments if you think this episode's good or not.
Yeah.
Because we'll give it another attempt.
We'll give it another crack, yeah.
But we can't even speak about this.
but
I don't know what happens in it, really.
If we change our mind, we'll let you know on Twitter. The girl who waited,
right,
and now we're back. And now it's all right again.
This is bloody
See,
brilliant.
do you know what we mean? When we say you got to wade through the schlock,
yeah.
and then you get these great moments. And then the girl who waited is, let's take that concept from the Neil Gaiman Doctor's Wife episode that really worked and just make it into an episode that works.
This one is bloody brilliant.
It is. It's really great.
Good.
It's really great.
But stolen by Neil...
Stolen off Neil Gaiman.
Stolen off Neil Gaiman slightly.
But that's okay.
That's all right.
It looks really nice.
The dialogue's amazing. The world is beautiful.
This is Amy's
really
probably Amy's best episode.
Absolutely,
really.
Yeah.
In terms
it really
of
shows how strong
character.
she is as a character because she's so stubborn. She's like no. She
Yeah.
gets angry. She's like she's really good at playing this
old soldier version of herself.
The monsters are they're a bit cool.
But it's not really about the
it's
monsters.
Not about them.
It is not focused on them because
like,
they're
in the TARDIS, like giving Rory instructions. The whole thing is funny.
Yeah.
The whole thing is just really well thought through.
Yeah.
It all makes sense because why time is working in that way.
Yeah.
Because of the plague that's happening. So you kind of watch people live their lives. It's kind of a nice idea, but then it all goes wrong obviously because Amy still loves Rory. It's so
this
cute.
is weirdly
This is when Rory and Amy's relationship really works.
Strong,
so the only episode where I'm like,
because she ends up hating the Doctor or disliking the Doctor,
and she still likes Rory. Yeah.
And then Rory's a bit freaked out, isn't he? Because he's found
really
her all old.
Yeah. And
it all goes back to the
and then
future,
it ends
doesn't
with
it?
the Doctor being a real dickhead.
Does it?
Because he promises old Amy that she'll travel with him. And then they get young Amy in the TARDIS and the Doctor just locks the door. And she's left outside. And Rory's like, let her in. He's like, we can't have 2 Amy's in the TARDIS. And he's like, what? And he's like, which one do you want?
That is dark.
He's like, which one do you want? Because there can only be one. And he's like, no, but she's gonna die. He's like, no, the second I materialize, she'll stop existing.
Fuck it out.
And then Rory's like, don't ever make me choose again. It's like, all right, if this ever happens again, I won't make you. But it's really good. It really impactful. There's a really great speech about love in this. Weirdly.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember it?
No, do you?
Yeah.
Go on.
I'll recite it. No. Basically, what she's saying is that when you first meet, she's like, you meet someone good looking, and then after a few minutes, you realize they're boring. But then when you meet someone and you think, yeah, they're all right, and then the more you talk to them, the more you hang out, the personalities printed on their face and they become like beautiful looking.
Oh right,
and that's
that is really gorgeous.
Yeah, really nice bit of monologue.
No, there's a lot of really nice stuff in this. It's just a sick episode.
And Karen Gillan really pulls
brings
it
it
off.
off,
She shows that she can do it.
No, this is like her. This
and
is
that's
her
why
episode.
She's the most successful actor to be a Doctor Who companion.
Yeah,
that's why she's in the Marvel movies.
Well,
I
she's
think
given
she
so much
probably
opportunity.
is the best actor to play a companion in modern New Who.
Billie Piper's done some really good theatre stuff.
She's done some great theatre stuff.
She's done
really
some really good theatre stuff, and she is a good actor for sure.
Yeah, she's very good.
Olivia Colman has not done that much, has she?
Olivia Coleman.
Oh,
Jenna
Jenna Coleman.
She's in a period show.
Oh right, yeah. Oh great.
It's called Tampax. It's great.
Tampax. Is it?
No.
I was gonna say.
She's like Victorian England.
Yeah, they love getting her in Victorian clothes.
She looks
don't
it.
they?
She
Yeah.
looks.
She
Anyway,
did. It just suit her.
Anyway, we're done with this.
Yeah,
right?
Girl Who Waited. Watch it. It's
8
really
out of
sick.
10.
The God Complex. This is decent. I think. I really like it.
You saw it recently.
I did. There's a lot of interesting.
We
stuff
don't know what
about
the
this.
Doctor saw in his room, which is like basically in each room is everyone's deepest, darkest fears.
Yeah.
So if I went in there, I would see
Me.
a NitPix fan staring at me, going, "I thought you said you'd review all of Doctor Who." Where's classic episodes?
If I went in there, I'd probably see my dad.
With a belt.
No, my dad's sitting on a couch just watching television. I go, "Hi, Dad." Then he go, I go, "No!
Give me attention,
Please!" It would
But
actually just be
obviously-
a room of people not looking at me. That would be my deepest fear.
What's
But
also
no.
funny is when the Doctor goes into his room, he actually sees a little TV screen, and on it is the episode "Let's Kill Hitler" from the same season.
I think
It really broke the fourth wall.
And he looks
there.
because when he looks
Yeah.
at his own thing, he goes, "Of course, who else?" That's what he says. He definitely saw the War Doctor.
You reckon?
That's what I'm doing. But
That's
is
what you're doing.
That's what I'm
in
saying.
my head.
So there's some really nice things about this episode. There's an ensemble. There's another cast that's brought in.
Yeah.
There's this woman who's like a nurse, and there's this alien who come in
Oh,
in
yeah, I
the
remember
later
him.
episode.
He's
who are
weird looking,
The
yeah,
weird
yeah.
alien and they're all based around being the most cowardice, like
he's
cowardly
really
aliens.
cowardly.
And there's
That's
this
very
weird,
Star Trekky.
yeah. And there's this weird like tech designer guy as well. And they're all being chased by this like monster who's like killing them. And in each of their rooms is their deepest fears. And like the dynamic between the Doctor and this girl is really good because she's like this nurse. She's really smart, and he's just like, you're gonna come travel with me. Like I'm gonna take you.
He just
around."
knows straight away.
Yeah, he's like, you're right for
Where's
us.
Rory and Amy? If they just...
So they're there with them as
Oh,
well. So
right.
they're all traveling and
right.
they're off. But he's like, yeah, you got to come with us. Like I've got so much to show you. You're great. You're smart. Like he really
Oh, yeah.
their chemistry is actually sick.
Is she cute?
She is kind of cute, yeah. Like they're definitely, and the hotel design I think is really nice. I think it takes like cues from The Shining. It's got that kind of 80s. It's built around this 80s aesthetic.
Yeah.
It's like a simulator. It's like a fake alien hotel basically.
Yeah. And she dies, right? This nurse.
Well, this is it. It's like actually like it's not that you die with this monster. It's that you end up having faith in him and giving yourself to him.
Oh no.
So that's what's like interesting. It's like so when people like die, they just like go up and they go praise him, and there's these like shots of the camera. So it's kind of like freaky, you know. It's a really
kind of like
interesting
the monks.
psychological kind of like the monks, except it's not a choice. It's like a whole switch. It's like you've been hypnotized.
Oh wow.
And you give yourself to him.
So she commits suicide pretty much.
Basically, there's this really good sequence where they've got the tech designer guys decided to say praise him, and they've tied him up so he's not going to get caught by the monster, and they've left the most cowardice, like the wimpiest, like because he wants to surrender. That's all that he wants to do. And there's this great bit where the Doctor just goes like, I realize like why you've survived for so long. It's not because like you give yourselves over. It's because like actually like the way you surrender to people is slimy. It's manipulative, and actually it's dark.
Oh,
Where
wow.
you don't want to help anybody. Like you don't want to like look out for anyone. You just want to be safe. It's all about looking after yourself. Like it's a really good Smith like rant that he gives to him.
You're making me want to watch this.
It's sick. And then like the guy's like tied out, and he's like, there's a lot of great stuff.
Officially changing it to a 7 based on your description.
There's a lot of fun stuff in it. It is a bit bog standardy, but maybe it should be. You know, maybe
Maybe
we
it
did
should be a
underrate
7. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of really fun stuff. It's like the reason it's not like perfect is probably it's just like a bit bog standardy, and I think it does get a bit hammy. Like it does go to that realm where actually I think this is an episode that really would have been well served to avoid that a little bit actually. There's some funny bits when he first lands. He's like, "Oh, look, a hotel!" and he's all excited about it. And Amy was like, "What is this place? This is shit." And he's like, "Oh, I love the '80s aesthetic and stuff like that." So,
Oh wow, cool.
yeah, really, it's good
Alright.
fun actually.
We're changing that to a 7 based
Yeah.
on Max's description.
Yeah, sorry. This is Max's special slide. Here we go. A surprise slide for Sam just to answer. Which Doctor Who character is the most cucked? Who got cucked the hardest during our run of
Let's
Doctor
go
Who?
through them.
So-
Contestant number 1.
You got Rory.
So what have we got on his CV? Waited 2,000 years for
Waited
Amy.
2,000 years for Amy. She checked
mystery man who he used to be forced to dress up as.
She
His main insecurity thing comes back into his life and takes her on the night of her wedding day.
She abandons him on
Then
the wedding
he's
day.
invited to join them and hang out with them and watch their chemistry close up. But the redeeming factor is he does get Amy.
He does. He gets with Amy, and she
they
really ends up loving him.
And they get divorced, and then he brings them together.
Yeah.
Actually,
Actually, he ends up with a great friend in the Doctor.
So I don't think it can be Rory, actually, despite the fact that he is the most cucked, but because he's got redemptive
He got cucked for so long, though.
Yeah.
He also got cucked for like 2,000 years.
Yeah.
You know.
But it was worth it.
Yeah, well, it paid off, I
And
guess.
also,
But then he
Amy-
also did divorce her.
Yeah, but then he takes it back.
Yeah, but
So
who's to say they stayed together?
Me.
They only had half a
They
season.
died together. They're buried together.
Oh, yeah, but come on.
Okay, Mickey Smith. So Mickey he's got his girlfriend. He's in South London. He's hanging about, and then his beautiful girlfriend, his like gorgeous girlfriend, meets a strange man.
Yeah, it's
who's
fully
like,
strange.
Who's like not only a cunt to him,
Really horrible.
like insensitive to his feelings, but she gets obsessed with him and wants to meet some guy online to talk about this guy she met.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, fine.
And he drives her.
Then he gets kidnapped. And he's like forced by these like weird like plastic people. He's kidnapped, and then the Doctor and Rose come in together. Like they come in together, and then Rose saves them, and then he's like, "Yeah, you want to come travel with me?" And he's still in shock.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
barely
yeah.
speaks, like, "You're a freak."
Yeah, he's
Ugh.
fully out
And he's
of
like,
it.
"Yeah, he's not invited."
Yeah, yeah.
And then she goes for a year.
That's true.
For a year.
That's true.
And then he gets blamed for the fucking missing girlfriend. The police investigate him. They think it was him.
That's true.
So then, and
not to say, that's also to say that also she makes out with the Doctor multiple times.
wait, we're coming.
Oh,
to that.
sorry.
Then,
I should leave
yeah.
you to this.
Then after that, they come. She comes back. She comes back to Wales, asks him to come all the way to Wales, which is a long journey. And there she's got a new guy who's there, who's like good-looking, tall, buff American.
Yes.
And they're all mates. She's hanging out with these two other men.
Yes.
The whole time.
Who keep talking down to him.
Yeah,
don't
who
they?
keep talking to him like he's nothing.
Yes.
Yeah, then they get into an argument where he's seeing someone else. Then she comes back, she leaves, makes out with him. His face changes, they come back down. He's got a different face. She's like worried about him. She's not even asking about Mickey during the Christmas invasion.
No.
They know she's not
At
very
this point, like,
concerned.
she's not even
Mickey's
interested.
just like used to it.
And by this point, yeah, he's used to it. And by this point, all she talks about is traveling.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Just before she kisses him.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I just want to travel, and she's with him. She's
Yeah.
like, oh, she's not even said she missed
Yeah.
him.
And she kisses him like hello, I think, in Boomtown.
Oh.
She makes out with him in Boomtown.
Oh god.
Before leaving him again. Yeah, and then she makes out with him before going to New Earth with David Tennant.
Oh,
where it's
right.
really romantic because then Cassandra makes out with him in her body.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
she makes out with Mickey before going, so they're sort of still together.
Yeah.
Also, Captain Jack Harkness is like, oh, it says here that you're sort of seeing a guy called Mickey, but you're available. And Mickey does really love her. He does wait a long time
he
for her.
does.
It's not like he doesn't
He's
care.
well into
He
her.
goes
He's
all the
really
way to
caring.
Wales.
He's
Yeah.
caring as fuck.
Yeah, so ultimately, based on all of this...
You don't think Martha even may get into the equation?
Not really, because she's got
Hang
a
on,
point where
hang
she
on.
goes, I've got to step away
But
from
let
this.
me frame this to you for a little bit, though. Okay, so she's well into him. Pretty much the only reason she travels with him is because she's into him. And in that time, like, the amount of fucking horrible shit she goes through. Like, think about that. You got gridlock, you got human nature. She had to be treated... Like, they didn't show the racism on screen, but think about off screen.
Yeah,
before.
but that's her own fault.
Yeah, maybe.
That is Martha.
But the Doctor doesn't even look at her.
The Doctor's never, ever expressed any romantic interest in
Oh,
Martha.
I'm sorry, but the way he approached her in John and Smith, where he's pretending to be human, the way he just shows up
Yeah,
with his
but
TARDIS,
Cup
come
is
on.
like fucking someone else in
Yeah,
front of you.
all right.
He's never into... He talks about Rose a bit. Like
She has to act like she is a maid to him as a teacher whilst he's in a relationship with another woman.
That's true, yeah. But I just think it's the fact that Mickey then goes travelling.
What
with
about
them.
that bit where he takes her to a place and he's like, oh, I brought Rose here, and she's like, oh.
I think it's Mickey, personally.
Yeah,
I would say
all right.
Mickey.
Sam's vote is on Mickey. You're probably right.
Mickey's just... Because it's not even... With both Martha and Rory, the fact that this is happening is like... is like we're made to feel sympathetic towards them. We're made to feel sympathetic towards
Whereas
Martha and Ross.
Mickey is
we're
like,
not even made to feel
he's the butt of a joke for the
he's
whole...
like, I'm the tin dog.
Yeah.
So what you were saying, he's like a joke.
Poor Mickey. He really had it hard.
But he does leave when he has to leave.
And he got with Martha.
Yeah. So they were good. Everyone's happy in the end.
Everyone's happy.
Everyone finds love in the end. Yeah, absolutely.
So, and that goes to you guys watching as well. Like, you'll
Let
probably
us know.
you'll probably find love in the end, even if you are being cucked right now. Which, if you are, I'm really sorry. If you're like a Rory or a Mickey, or maybe even a Martha, like rough times, guys. But you'll get through it, just like they did. Next slide. Closing time.
Doctor.
Yeah, what can you say?
Cybermen.
It's like Cybermen. It's James Corden. Doctor runs a shop.
My name is James Corden. And, I do on Facebook. I do a little couple karaoke with the CB. Oh, abado.
And that's pretty much what we think of this episode.
Yeah,
5 out of 10.
that's closing time in a nutshell. I always forget it's a Cyberman episode.
Yeah.
So, okay, fun fact. The woman from Come Outside, that show with the dog, Pippin, and she drives a plane, the kids show. Look up, look
I didn't grow up on British
look
TV.
all around, and they fly right in a plane.
Yeah.
She's in this.
Great. The Doctor runs a shop. That's quite cute.
Yeah. It's not bad. It's 5 out of 10.
It's all right.
It's just more of the same.
Yeah, it's not...
If you like The Lodger, you'll like this.
Yeah, your mum will definitely like
Your
this.
mum will love this.
You should do The Lodger closing time back to back with your mum.
Yeah.
Challenge. It's the James Corden Doctor Who challenge. Watch both those episodes back to back with your mum. Tell us what she thought.
Yeah, not much to say about this.
He hangs out with James Corden again. He has a baby. The Doctor speaks baby, and this is the first time he speaks baby.
Cool.
It's cute.
It's alright, yeah.
What did he want to call the baby? Stormageddon.
Yeah, no, the baby wants to be called Stormageddon.
Yeah, that's right. I like that. That made me
James
laugh.
Corden's like, you're better with kids. You're better at football. You're better at defeating Cybermen. I'm just
a fat idiot. I'm a fat, greasy idiot with a shit talk show. That's what he's like in the episode.
No, James, stop hitting yourself. No, I hate you because you're better than me.
Yeah. So check it out.
Check it out.
If you like James Corden.
We don't.
The wedding. See, this is the culmination of just the mess.
It's like when it goes off from being like Moffat's like weird world that he creates. It's like Moffat, you just really fucked this. Like you
So
really.
This is really like...
This is when all of time's fucked, isn't it?
This is when all of time's
It's
fucked.
just-
And
Get out!
He meets up with Winston Churchill. He meets up... So that's weird. Why does Winston Churchill remember him? The universe was reset.
I think it was the point when he was dressed in as a Greek, or he was wearing a tunic. He was wearing the outfit, and it was him and Winston Churchill in a room, and they were talking about how time is all happening at once.
And then there's a silence, and then they run into the silence.
When I was like, this is just
shit.
This is just awful.
Also, the Doctor looks really ugly in this whole episode.
His hair.
It's really weird and greasy.
Yeah.
And then they get married. It's genuinely this episode is such a mess that it's really hard to recollect. And I tried to watch this. We watched this all the way to the end. The good shit we will retain, but this is just fucking makes no sense. Some people are evil. Amy is alternate versions of people, and it comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, Amy's...
we've just had closing time, and then you go into the Wedding of River song, and suddenly all of time stopped, and it's just like...
It's like, oh, remember the plot we were doing 5 episodes ago?
Yeah.
It's back!
Yeah, and this is really... Because this is like the first two-parter, because this is the first two-parter, then it's the sort of, A Good Man Goes to War, then it's Let's Kill Hitler, then it's the Wedding of River song, and all of those are the ones that are all about each other and linked. And it just increasingly just gets weirder, and not in a good way, in a way that's just feels like you're just trying to link strands that don't need to be linked together. And it's like, why are you trying to bring your whole universe together when it doesn't even need that? It doesn't need that. It just never needed. And then the Doctor needs to marry River Song.
Why does he need to? Well, it was for some reason, wasn't it?
Yeah, isn't there like a homing beacon or something, and that marrying
It was
her...
for so they could have a shared joint bank account, and they could buy a house together on the
That's
lease, because it's tax deductible.
Yeah, it's a shit show. It's a real shit show. It's depressing, actually.
It's not good.
It's not good at all.
There's nothing good about it.
The
fact that the Doctor gets married to River Song is like the most obvious thing to happen
Things-
as well.
things-
And the fact that it doesn't even happen like genuinely.
Yeah.
It happens because he sort of has to.
Yeah, he doesn't
It
even
kind of-
want to.
Yeah, it
he
kind
doesn't
of
even
ruins it, really.
Yeah, and like there's a so certain things is the
Like,
sets are kind
okay,
of
yeah,
alright.
do Doctor Who, but he goes to a parallel world and everyone's evil. Like, I think it's in relation to Inferno, the John Pertwee story, where he goes to an alternate world and everyone's like evil.
Yeah.
And they're all well, it's only Brigadier who wears the eye patch, but I think it's like he's trying to do that. He's trying to do Inferno, but it's a mess.
It's so shit. There are some okay bits. Like this has some of the better action sequences that Doctor Who has in it.
Yeah.
That's not to say that counts for much, because they have no real weight to it, because you genuinely don't really know what's happening. But yeah, no, overall, like, not great. Didn't
Not
like
great,
it.
out of 10.
Don't watch it. Don't watch it at all.
Don't watch any of this.
Yeah, you can watch the first two-parter. You should just watch the good episodes of this season. If you've seen the first season, you can go into the season.
Well, let's
and enjoy
go
it.
into it. Oh wait, we've got the Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe, which is a 4 out of 10. It's pretty bland.
It is bland.
It's just more of the same. Like, I don't know.
What do you want from us, man?
What do you want from, like, come on, it's the Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe. I'm not a fan of the Narnia books or the Narnia movies.
No.
I'm not a fan of any of that. I'm not a fan of any of this episode.
It's a bit more whimsy,
I
and
wanna
there's not a lot of
yeah,
depth of plot.
So let's just move on. That's a 4 out of 10.
It's a 4 out of 10. It's
It's
forgettable,
boring.
bro. It's
It's
forgettable.
boring. Yeah, but it looks nice. It looks pretty, and Matt Smith is quite fun in it.
He's
like,
cute.
It's got aspects that are enjoyable.
It's
Yeah.
forgettable.
But overall,
5.5
that's nice.
out of 10.
That
Did
was
you like
good.
it?
Yeah,
Did you like
that was
that?
very good. Yeah.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
5.5 out of 10.
I saw I could change it up,
Yeah.
and I took.
So we've got the Doctor's wife in this.
Yeah, which is
We've
really
got
good.
The Girl Who Waited in this.
Which is really good.
We've got, what else have we got?
You've got the first two-parter, which I genuinely think
The
is worth
first
a watch.
two-parter with the silence.
Um,
We've got.
I think
There was another good one, I swear.
we can cycle back. This doesn't matter. This is DikPix. Oh, the
God
God Complex, which is really interesting.
That
Rebel
was
Flesh
alright.
is okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
overall, it's
It's a mixed bag.
I think it's the worst. I think it's the worst Moffat season.
yes.
I think it's.
I think it is.
There's
Yeah,
so much of this that you just don't want to go near. You
yeah,
don't wanna touch.
it's really like
so much
messy.
of this that you wish never happened.
Yeah,
Especially the River Song stuff.
yeah, and that, like, you know, Moffat isn't like, you know, he always brings forth good moments. You know, there are good moments in all these episodes. I think there's a little
And
something.
I like the characters. Like
And the
River Song is
characters-
still a good character.
Yeah,
like,
but
she's good,
it's
well
just
performed.
it's just such a shame he wanted to go so far out and bonkers with this, because the first season is concise compared to this. This is just fucking
all of time happening.
It's
at
really
once.
hard to keep up with. It's a bit overwhelming, even
Yeah.
if you know Doctor Who.
Yeah, even
it
if you
feels a
had
bit
massive
like that.
nerds like us and you've made a huge video on all of Who.
Yeah, it's like hard to keep up with that, but there are some of the best episodes in this season, like the Doctor's Wife and the Girl Who Waited, particularly,
They're really good,
really
yeah.
stand out. Not only like in all of Doctor Who as well,
Yeah.
and they're really unique.
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
very, very unique episodes.
And then you've got
and when it
some
gets
of
good,
the
it is
slightly better than average episodes like the Rebel Flesh.
Yeah, and those are
the
also
opening
unique, you
two-parter
know.
and the God Complex.
And it keeps
Yeah.
up with that sense that Matt Smith, when it works, it's really fresh,
But I
and it's
think-
not like other Doctor Who.
I think
so.
we've even felt it. Just the Let's Kill Hitler, the war, what's it called?
The Good Man Goes to War.
Good Man Goes to War, Let's Kill Hitler, and the Wedding of River Song are so draining.
Yeah,
They're
they are. They're
genuinely
really
draining.
exhausting.
Because if you even begin to try and deconstruct what happens in these episodes and why they're happening and who's doing what and why they're doing it, it drains you.
It's really funny as well because the way the episodes add up, this is only like half a point less than the first season, but the first season's like a proper treat.
Yeah.
Like it's a treat. It's
Yeah.
it's actually a joy to watch and sit through.
Yeah.
Whereas this is like it actually gets harder
It's like
than it
being in
should.
an abusive relationship with Steven
Yeah,
Moffat.
and then sometimes he'll just come and give you some gold, and then you're like, wow.
He'll
Because
come over and go,
this is what we say about like Moffat's run generally.
yeah, he'd come over.
I just went like that. See, I was like,
He'd come over.
Do you like this?
Do you want some gold?
this is what we were saying about Moffat's season generally, though. It's just like Russell T is consistent.
He's a consistent man.
Whereas like Moffat's gets mad erratic.
Yeah.
But when his Doctor Who episodes get good, it's better than any Doctor Who, I think. Any of the
Yeah.
Doctor Who that comes before.
Yeah, I
but
mean,
there's not enough of it.
It's hard to think of an episode like The Girl Who Waited. It's hard to think of an episode that does
What that does.
what that does in Russell's era. The closest thing again is Turn Left.
Yeah, and that's
It's
not
weird because Turn Left is such a weird, specific Russell episode.
Yeah.
And it's like Journey's End, like whatever, like that is like dumb and convoluted and stupid, like because Davros just wants to get all these planets to.
But
fight
at least it does
a-
make some
a big
semblance of
bomb.
sense. Yeah.
And like the Slovene are like, but it kind of is logical, and it's like one thing. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, one thing is stupid, but then when you get to the wedding of Riversong, all of time is happening at once. Okay, Amy's evil,
And also,
like,
the
you just,
silence don't make any sense
yeah,
anymore
yeah.
either.
It's
They've
just like
lost them.
throwing loads of things at you.
Yeah.
And I think he took too many ideas
And
that
tried
should
to
have just
make them-
been one episode and bundled them up altogether. Because the Doctor, Amy, and Rory in the world where all of time is happening at once would have been interesting.
Could have been interesting.
It could have been interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
Because how does that world
Or the
function?
Doctor and River.
Yeah, and they're like trying to, make it work. Oh, the Doctor and River, whatever. But then an evil version of Rory, Amy, and River is also really interesting. But like doing it all at the same time is like when
And
it's
then-
like really.
And then
like,
also
what?
bringing back like villains that in the first episode of your season you've killed
Yeah.
anyway as well, defeated.
Yeah.
Is weird. Bringing back all these elements
Yeah.
and then having all these. It's real visual vomit
Yeah.
as well. It's
Yeah.
really jarring to the
Yeah.
eye because there's so much on screen.
Because Russell, like, if you write down everything that happens in his seasons, it's like you it's the same as watching it. You can read that and understand that, and it's sometimes shit, sometimes dumb. Like the Doctor programming himself in and becoming Super Saiyan.
Yeah,
like,
that's
that is
dumb.
ridiculous.
But at least it's
if you
just
write
like-
down everything that happens in Moffat season and you read that, you go, oh, okay. The closest thing I can relate it to is like it's like the end of time. Which still doesn't make sense.
No.
We watched it so many times. We still don't know what the hell was happening. We tried to read a plot summary of it.
We did, didn't
Yeah.
we? Yeah. And it is just like jumping from place to place. But this is different in the sense where it's not like nothing. It's so much everything,
Yeah.
and it's so plot oriented.
Yeah.
Whereas like Russell, when it got dumb, like Journey's End is definitely dumb, but it is just a Dalek invasion story.
Yeah.
This is like way ambitious, but he's just not tried to.
But I
dial
think
it in
after
together.
this, I think Moffat really dials it down.
Yeah,
a
he
bit.
he
I
learns
think
from
this
this
is
season a
definitely-
lot. He learns.
I
from
can
this.
imagine him aging about 5 years making this season of
Yeah,
Doctor
it's
Who.
hard. It's
Because
hard.
he probably knows deep down it's not very good.
No, but he there was some gold. Like
Anyway.
you got to credit it.
Small break.
Small break. We'll be
Advert
back after
break,
that.
little
Advert break. This time we're advertising long form juice. This is juice sold in really really tall glasses.
Enjoy. Hello.
We're back.
2 hours in, season 7.
We're gonna
Whoa, that.
stop this whole video after the last Matt Smith season because they're all each season is taking an hour now apparently. So we're running with it. You know,
I
it's
don't know.
free
I
form.
just had for some reason in my head that we would talk longer about these seasons,
Yeah.
but I wasn't sure
You
why.
called it, man. You called
I
it
just knew
because I
we
was like,
would.
no, we could get through to Capaldi. So Capaldi will be next video, and
Yeah.
then we'll do the
Chibnall's
last,
the last video,
season.
yeah.
Okay, so season 7.
Whoa.
Moffat-
Matt Smith looking a lot better in that screenshot.
Yes, looking much tidier. Moffat's clearly learned from his last season.
We hope.
We hope. This is still a bit of a weird one as well. It's like
It's
a
in
half.
2 halves, yeah.
It's like a half season, but it's like it's I remember it fondly. So
Me
let's
too.
just
Let's jump
dive in.
straight in.
Asylum
Asylum
of
of the
the
Daleks. 5 out of 10.
Super average Matt Smith episode. Amy and Rory are having a divorce. There's things I kind of like about this, but
I
even
like
the things,
the opening. I like the setup.
the setup's
The
good.
setup's wonderful.
I like the setting.
The Daleks hiring the Doctor to kill Daleks.
Yeah.
is really clever. The opening bit where he's just surrounded by them.
And talking
he's
to
just
all of them.
surrounded by them. And then they're like, we know you really well. We know you need a companion.
Yeah.
And we've got a companion for you.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
And
I
then
just-
Amy and Rory being divorced as well is
just-
an interesting
The thing
development.
that bothered me about this episode, really, was that there was a real opportunity for them to involve more classic Dalek designs in this.
Yeah.
And really push the bar. Because I was kind of a bit bored of these gold Daleks.
You mean the Time War Daleks?
Yeah, what they're officially called.
That's their official title, Sam. The Time War Daleks.
Yeah, I was kind of sick of the Time War Daleks. I would have quite liked to have seen some more, because this is really goofy.
There's a bit of
It's
that.
really weird. It's like really odd,
Yeah.
because it's like all these Daleks that have gone insane.
I stand by the fact whilst we were watching this, we kept on saying how cool would it be if the Doctor had a Dalek companion that was with
Brilliant,
him.
yeah.
That would have been lit. But he doesn't. He's with Amy and Rory, who are divorced, and they're just arguing the whole time. And there's some things that I like. So the thing that I like that's also dumb is the Dalek infection thing with the eyes coming out of the head.
The human.
'Cause I kinda
Dalek.
like the-
I am
A human Dalek. But instead it's like Dalek conversion. And I kind of like it because of the tension that it establishes and the way that it sets up into Souffle Girl. But I also think it's dumb.
Yeah. Well, Clara's really great in this episode.
This is the best.
This is the best. No, she's kind of. I don't hate
She
Clara.
gets alright, yeah.
But like, I was so excited when I found out Clara
Was
would be
the
a companion
companion,
because
yeah.
I was like, oh great, because her character in this is wonderful.
Yeah,
and it'd be
yeah.
so great to have the Doctor traveling with this person from the future.
Yeah.
But then.
It's not
No,
that.
it's not. It's not
It's
actually.
it's way
that
dumber than
at
that.
all.
But I quite like the twist that
'Cause
she's
I
a
think
Dalek
Moffat
at the time.
just sort of fell in love with Jenna Coleman from this episode, and then tried to make it.
Didn't
make
we all a
sense.
bit?
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah, I did as well. I had such a
So
crush on
cute,
her.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
okay.
I like the bit where all the Daleks explode and they go, who killed all the Daleks? He goes, who do you think? I would never.
I would never, except if it's Daleks.
Except for the Daleks. Yeah, so the whole Rory and Amy like arguing and being divorced was like, I really liked that.
And the weird thing that
And then-
Amy's like a model and a bit
Yeah,
famous and
yeah.
become a bit of a dickhead.
Yeah, I really liked that. And then when they fuck it at the end by making the Doctor magically get them back together, it just really bothered me.
Yeah, it felt a
Because
bit
again,
hokey.
I watched this on TV because I was like ready to like, okay,
Get
I'll
into
go
it.
into this.
Yeah.
And like, it was a bit of a shame.
It was such a 5 out of 10, and it's like a Dalek episode as well.
Yeah.
And a Dalek episode should never really be a 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
And I think I would be more up for watching Victory of the Daleks than this. This feels like a bit more bloated. And once you get into the running down hallway, I don't know, it's okay.
Yeah.
Probably the same as Victory of
Yeah,
the Daleks. It's like super average.
Yeah, I just think Moffat's basically trying to do what we really like him doing, which is it's a Dalek episode, but it's not quite that. It's also about Rory and Amy.
non-conventional, yeah.
And it's like, it's a little character drama
Yeah.
in the midst of this Dalek thing. Brilliant, wonderful, except the character drama's a bit boring.
Yeah, and then the resolution
And
of it
also
is
the
a bit
fact that the Doctor can't
hokey.
accept that they're not together is like really weird.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like it would have been much nicer if the Doctor realised he can defeat all these Daleks, but when two people stop loving each other, that's
it. And like once they get back together, it's nice
I
because
think
there's
it's quite problematic in the sense of if you've got divorced parents and you watch this episode, you're like, I can get them back together, like the
all
Doctor
it takes
did.
is a bit of hard work, a bit of grease because
yeah.
they're in love.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's all right, isn't it? It's a 5 out of 10.
it's a 5 out of 10. Dinosaurs on a
It's
spaceship.
just the season doesn't kick off well. It doesn't kick. Yeah, there's one thing. The one thing I do like is Rory's dad in this.
Yeah, he's
really
quite good.
fun as a character.
Old Weasley.
And he's only in Chibnall episodes, but he is a fun character.
Do like him. Chibnall invented him.
Yeah, as a plot
Credit to Chibnall
for inventing
for
it.
inventing Rory's
Creds. That is definitely who Rory's dad would be.
dad. Yeah.
And the weird like nah guy as
All
well.
right, so let's really deep dive into Dinosaurs on a Spaceship. So, Dinosaurs on a Spaceship. We've got David Bradley as the villain, who's a collector.
Yeah.
We've got Nefertiti's in this. We've got this old American cowboy-esque
Yeah.
guy. We've got Mitchell and Webb playing two robots.
Yeah.
And all of those things are there, plus a Silurian plot thing.
Yes.
It's a Silurian arc.
Yeah.
And great. That's all cool and all. But what's this episode really about? Like, what's the main, like, you know, because Dalek, like, something with the Daleks.
Yeah.
It's a bit boring, but at least at its core, it's about Amy and Rory, like, getting back together. It's about that kind of conflict, which is, like, juxtaposed similar to the relationship with the Doctor and the Dalek, and, like, this idea of, like, you know, is there redemptive qualities in the Daleks? You know, what's going on with that?
Because you see that in Clara as well.
It's got a level of intimacy to it. Then when you look at this, there's just no intimacy.
It's like bland. That's what the shame of it is there's plenty of interesting stuff, but it is bland.
It's just like they never even justify why like Nefertiti and that other guy like are in it.
No.
Like, and it's like, okay, if he's gonna build a team up.
Yeah, why wouldn't he get River?
Why wouldn't he get like good people? Like why
River and Captain Jack. Suddenly this episode's sick.
Yeah, exactly. And then suddenly, okay, yeah, sure, it's about things.
Yeah.
It's got things to it.
Or there's more dynamics to be
There's more
had.
dynamics playing around. It's just because Nefertiti's just sort of like infatuated by the Doctor and doesn't like the animal hunter.
And he's a sexist.
And then like Rory and Amy are just there.
And the Doctor kills him. He dies as well.
Who?
The evil guy, the Collector.
The Collector. Yeah.
I think it's always a bit bland when the Doctor saves the day by killing the antagonist.
Didn't he blow up the Ark?
He blows up his ship, but he saves
yeah.
all the dinosaurs and he saves the Ark.
Yeah, we've done a video on this.
Yeah, you know what is going on. It's a 2 out of 10. Come on, get on the wavelength or get out of my house. Town Called Mercy. Suddenly we're back with it.
Okay.
And
Toby Whithouse comes in and gives a solid bloody episode.
It is
so
solid.
Good.
It is really
so
solid.
Good.
This is fun as well because it plays with its Western setting really nicely, and the gunslinger's a really interesting character. I love it. It's all about like the relationship of how people are at war and what people do in war, and I think that's a really interesting theme for the Doctor to explore, and lawlessness and what the law is, and doing that in the West.
He becomes sheriff.
He becomes sheriff, yeah, and you know he finds out because the sheriff is hunting this one guy who's a doctor who's saving everyone in the town by giving them technology, but he created the gunslinger as a weapon, you know, during conflict, and I think that's really interesting. That's like really great sci-fi.
No, isn't
morals.
Gunslinger like an alien?
No, yeah, but so he's
and the
part
Doctor is an alien as
yeah,
well.
the Doctor.
Yeah.
He's part of the Doctor's experiments of war.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's why he wants to kill him as revenge. And he's killed like all the scientists.
Oh, he's like a Nazi.
Pretty much
relocated to Argentina.
He's sort of like a Nazi doctor.
And he's retired. Then he's like, I did horrible things,
but now I'm helping.
people.
And it's all about how someone can get redemption and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and that's really tidy.
The setting's amazing too.
It looks really good as a Western.
Great.
Genre's great.
Amy and Rory are good.
Yeah, it's great. And this little town, this Western town that's surrounded and trapped by this gunslinger. There's loads.
Wonderful episode. Really
like fun. And definitely like worth a watch. And this is when you start to see the value of this season.
This is definitely an episode you can show someone if they haven't. They're like, oh, I don't like Matt Smith. You just show them this one, and they're like
for sure. Yeah. And this season's really heavy on genre play, which I think is really cool because there's loads of episodes in this. Cold War, and there's loads of ones that play with genre, and this is the first of that, and it does it really well.
Absolutely,
and I think it's a bit postmodern in all the right ways. So.
Absolutely,
and one of the better historical ones.
Yeah. No, I mean it's taking influence from the classic Doctor Who serial Gunslingers. Yeah, which is also really good. Siri's activated. Fuck off, Siri.
Sorry, Siri just activated there. Don't mind that. But yeah, Town Called Mercy is really sick.
Are listening in.
Power of 3. So this is a genuine episode that is only let down by its like final act.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what everyone says about this.
Yeah, and
everyone's like, it was supposed to be a two-parter, and then the actor who was Cube Man was really difficult to work with.
Yeah.
And
sorry, but the episode still doesn't work.
Stop being a Chibnall apologist.
So again, the best things about
you sicken me.
The best things about this is the Doctor chilling out with Amy and Rory as he's waiting for stuff to happen.
Like, Chibnall can write some pretty good character stuff, and also some pretty sweet Doctor Who stuff.
Yeah,
because they're constantly like going in time and seeing different elements, and you know it's got real fun to it. don't they go in time in this?
No, they're like earthbound in this. This is the whole thing. Is the Doctor's like really fucked off
No, doesn't he take them?
because he's waiting for the cubes.
No, but he goes away and keeps coming back and keeps surprising them.
oh yeah, that's
And
how
then
it
he
opens.
does take him. He does take him
on a
places.
couple of holidays, but it's like a
he
montage.
it's a montage,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
that's really
That's
fun.
fun,
That's
that's
really
cute.
satisfying. And yeah, the cubes look cool.
Yeah, the
and
cubes
the
look
whole
cool.
mystery is interesting.
Until
and then
you- the
unit,
pair.
it's a unit episode as
Yeah.
well. So this is
Is it
because they go to
Oh,
the
yeah.
Tower of London. So this is actually like the first unit
episode with
episode
Smith?
of Moffat.
Oh, cool. And Moffat does
And
unit
that's-
in a
no,
fun
there's
way.
no other ones, is there?
unit
no.
episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is.
No, in the future.
Oh
not before.
yeah, but before.
no,
No, I don't think so. Correct us if
And
we're wrong.
Chibnall did a good job at doing unit as well.
Yeah, unit comes off really
Yeah.
nicely.
I don't know
And
how much Moffat influenced
just
it.
the
but-
Doctor living with Amy and Rory is really satisfying. And the problem is this whole thing builds up itself around this mystery, and then the mystery is really like not that good, and the resolution is really poor.
It's awful. Yeah.
Really, really bad.
A lot of people specifically like it was funny because when we were writing our Chibnall video, we were watching all the Chibnall videos, and our friend Penny came over just to hang out with us, and we're like, oh, we're watching Doctor Who episodes. She kind of likes Doctor Who anyway, so it wasn't a problem. But she was like, yeah, I'll do it as long as there isn't that we don't watch that cube one.
yeah.
She specifically was like, that cube one, I really hate that cube one.
It's disappointing. It's a letdown because it could have been a really great episode, I think.
Yeah.
But it needed that right ending because
Yeah.
the rest of it is good. It's decent. If it ended really well, it'd have been superb. But instead, it's like good and decent, and then it's really it's a huge letdown. So
Yeah. We've done
that
a
is
video
what it
on
is.
it.
We've done a video on it, man.
Go watch that.
Angels Take Manhattan. Now,
Also a solid one.
this is really good.
So
This is such a great.
The
little
Weeping
send-off.
Angels don't move again.
Yes.
So he's fixed them.
Yeah, they're
And they've
fixed.
made a battery farm.
Of humans
Yeah,
that they
in
keep
America-
leaking, which is such a dark idea. It's so
good.
disturbing.
The opening sting of this episode with the detective going around is really great.
Yes.
Let's jump cut because Joe's just come in. I swear I heard the door.
I thought I did as well, but I don't think. Oh yeah, there it is.
What's up, my boys? We're
Sorry,
back.
sorry, our roommate came back home.
He moved back in.
He's living with
He
us
said,
again.
listen, no more Doctor Who shit, okay?
And we said, fuck off! We're doing one now.
Oh yeah, sorry in the last video we put that 2 minutes of
I'm not sorry.
You like it?
Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
adds to it. I think it humanizes us.
Oh, it's a good job that we scripted it out then.
Yes.
Yeah.
None of this is unscripted. This is all planned out. But Angels Take Manhattan, super noiry. Again, it's like this
Oh yeah,
genre.
the opening sting I was
Yeah,
saying
this
is so
is it.
good because he just goes up. He's like, I was investigating this
Yeah,
place.
it's got like
and
a
then he
monologue.
goes up, he creeps into the corridor, and the angels are following him. And he goes into a room, and it's like an old person. He looks at his driving license. It's him.
Yeah, it's so good.
"Ah!"
And so this hotel where people like age, it's just like really blowing up this like aging thing. It's like perfect for Amy and Rory for this to be their foil because the angels are particularly constant with Amy's character.
She's seen him once.
Twice. Oh no, she has seen them once, but they got in her eye. Like, come on,
They did
she
get in
nearly
her
became
eye,
one. She
yeah.
nearly became one. It's deep.
No, I think it's just really good. Don't they kill themselves? And they jump off.
Yeah, they jump
Yeah.
off. That's right. Yeah,
And
they
then
jump off the building.
they're all right though.
Yeah, it saves it
Yeah,
because of
and
time.
then Rory just gets snatched up by an angel. at the
Yes,
end.
that's right. And she lets it take her, and it's beautiful. It's very touching. It's a really nice send off to them. It happened. It's surprising as well because it happens mid-season, so you don't see it coming really.
Yeah.
When you're watching.
And I
it
also
play out.
Moffat really comes back on form with
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
This is like the first time Moffat writes like a really good episode since
Yeah.
since Pandorica opens.
Yeah. Well,
since
did he
this-
write "Girl Who Waited"?
No, he didn't write the Girl Who
well, there you
Waited.
go.
No,
Yeah.
but even the Pandorica opens isn't that good.
No. Well, Pandorica Opens is pretty decent.
Yeah, but it's not as good as this.
Not as good as this.
This
This
is
is
the best
really-
episode since I think The Beast Below.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
This is really good.
It's really
and
good.
River's here as well, and
it
she's
makes
really
sense.
good.
Yeah,
it makes
it's
sense.
really, really
and
good.
she's really good as well because they've given her that like aloofness again.
Yeah, because she's writing the book.
She's writing
Yeah.
the book, but she kind of seems like distant and a bit fucked off with the Doctor
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well, and like a bit
Absolutely.
like done with him.
The angels are really scary in this. as
Yeah,
well.
and
This
she's,
this
like,
is the one with the
bitter.
little kid baby.
Yes, blowing out the candle.
Yeah, they're really great.
Loads of great moments.
I would love to see Capaldi go against an angel.
Yeah, those would have.
Yeah.
The Capaldi Angel episode would have been sick.
Yeah.
But they're very Smith villain, and I think he
Yeah.
deserves a villain like that.
Yeah, I
think that's
guess
cool.
so.
It's nice that he has that, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
What do you think of Statue of Liberty being a weeping angel? I'm not a fan.
Dumb,
Yeah, it's
dumb,
dumb.
definitely dumb. But I think it does create like a fun moment.
Yeah.
And I think maybe like, you know, this is one of those episodes that's not like actually that campy.
Yeah.
That's the one bit of campiness, and I can overlook it.
It's very consistent with its rules on time traveling as
Mm.
well, because the Doctor's always saying like, no, now that you've read it in a book, it becomes real.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Now
That's
the fact
right.
that he's on a tombstone, it means that you have to die there. Therefore, I can't come and get you. Like,
This whole thing is like, and then River Song's written this whole thing as like a noir story.
Yeah.
And it plays out exactly like that.
so yeah, the
It's
genre
really-
conventions. Is
I
really
I
great,
really
yeah.
love the genre convention play
Yeah.
that you get with this season, and it really brings this season out and makes it feel really unique again.
Yeah,
because the second season is just like, it's like the first season, like, but you put a bunch of coke inside of it and it just went insane.
Yeah.
And Moffat kept on screaming at walls and trying to link lines together. And this time he's like,
And talking to his hands.
and then this time he's like, actually, the episodes I'm going to do are going to like play on film conventions, and
Yeah.
I'm going to play with those, and it gives this whole season a different flavour
Yeah,
that I think really helps it and makes it feel so much more cinematic.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
season particularly feels really,
Well,
really
it's
filmic.
really good because I think what happens is River gets touched by an angel and the Doctor has to come get her because he finds it in a book.
Yeah,
And he has to come and get her, and that's sick.
It's fucking
and
great.
The Amy going, you can see how upset that makes Matt Smith.
and there's the trapped angel as well
Yeah.
with the thing around his neck, which
Yeah,
is really
yeah,
cool. Fucking great episode. Really great.
Wonderful send off for
and
Amy. and
really
Rory.
good.
Yeah.
Thank God they got something good.
Yeah.
Because they had a bunch of trash
Yeah.
after their first season.
Yeah.
But this really like homes in why they're great and why you love
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
And this is the gem amongst the schlock, as it were.
Absolutely.
And then we go on. Bonus time! It's a bonus slide. Which Doctor Who alien would you fuck if you had to fuck one, otherwise you die?
The Silurian.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Oh, come on, there's a sexier alien than the Silurian out there.
Oh, it's not out
It's
of
not
these
all.
ones.
It's all of who. I just get that.
Can I do Torchwood?
You can't do Torchwood. No.
But they're beyond the police.
Yeah, beyond the government and beyond Doctor Who.
Out of all the monsters, which one would I fuck?
I've thought about
Can
this.
Chando?
Yeah, she can. You can fuck Chandler. Are you dead serious? No, you have to answer this
I
sincerely.
don't have a vagina though. Okay, well, Chando's in the list.
She's
Who else
on the
is
list.
there? The Silurian woman, maybe. She's all right.
Silurian woman is kind of hot.
Yeah.
She's a bit stern and severe though.
Who else is there?
There are loads of.
There has to be an alien.
What about that water one that you can travel with in Capaldi season?
Oh, she's quite beautiful.
yeah, she's cute, man.
Yeah, and she can take you anywhere.
She can take you anywhere. It's like
You have to become part of it, though, don't you?
Yeah, so you kind of would die.
Yeah, you would die if you fucked her.
So even if you
Yeah.
did, you're not escaping death.
What about
What about one of the from Human?
what about one of the
Reason-
witches from the Shakespeare Code?
Wasn't one of them cute?
Yeah, but they all are cute. They can all turn into.
Do you know who I would?
Who?
Spider Woman from Don's Christmas special. Make love to me. I'd be all over that. Or a Jadoo.
I'd have to go.
I reckon Jadoo and give great
I'm
head.
soft on Chan though. You know I'm soft on Chan though.
Oh, you really did? Would you?
Yeah.
You could go there with her. You reckon?
Absolutely, she's so sweet.
All right. Fair enough, man.
Who's you then?
Cyberman.
No, Cyberwoman, but Torchwood doesn't count.
I'd fuck Jodie Whittaker's Doctor.
That's not an A. Oh,
Yes, she is an alien.
Oh, no,
Got
seriously.
you. You want to fuck a weird blue alien woman, and I just want to fuck normal people.
Oh, I'd fuck the Doctor's daughter then.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, damn it. Yeah, but then it's no fun, is it?
Exactly.
It's not a proper alien.
Well, go
is
on
it?
then. So which one would you?
I mean, the Silurians are objectively, I think, the most humanoid.
So you would go for
that
the
I can think.
Silurian.
Yeah. Leave in the comments what alien you'd fuck if you had to fuck
And
one,
why?
otherwise you die. Torchwood doesn't count. It's beyond Doctor Who.
It's beyond Doctor Who. It's beyond the government. Sarah Jane Chronicles doesn't count either. We
No.
said Adventures last time.
Oh,
It's
Sarah Jane's Chronicles. Jeez,
Yeah.
nuts.
She doesn't count.
The Snowmen. Richard E. Grant's in it,
I know.
and he plays a great intelligence. And there's a snowman, and then there's the reveal
There's
of the new.
also a weird bit where there's like a film. It's like an old film of the Doctor, and it's got like film grain on it, and he's wearing like a bowler hat. He's like,
I don't even remember that.
yeah, no, that's in it.
Like Clara Oswald is like
Well,
considerably,
this is when Moffat comes back.
and brings her back,
Because he's like, I'm going to bring back Clara.
and she's so much less interesting.
Isn't this a Christmas special?
I think so.
Yeah, this is a Christmas
this is
special.
the Christmas special, isn't it? It's not the best, is it? It's the
No.
great intelligence that they bring back, who's really pivotal to her character as well, and to like her and
Yeah.
Matt Smith's arc, which is
It just-
interesting.
It's just kind of a standard Moffat Victorian episode. It's got a whole slew of episodes.
It's a bit of a shame because she's so much less interesting in this than she is.
Than she was as Oswald.
And this is the
Yeah.
sort of framework that they use for her
Yeah, I
moving
just think
forward.
they should have just reused the whole River Song thing.
What?
Who cares?
Yeah.
All right, Clara dies. You know when she's gonna die.
Yeah.
Like, okay, who cares?
Who cares? We'll just get there.
Just-
What do you think
yeah.
of the whole? So little
Well,
bit of an
having-
offshoot. TARDIS time. What do you think of Matt Smith's new TARDIS in this one compared
Oh.
to his earlier one?
Oh, TARDIS time.
TARDIS time.
Yeah, I like all the TARDISes in their own way in New
Yeah.
Who. There's not a single TARDIS I don't like.
This is my least favorite New Who TARDIS. This Smith one specifically, because I just find it's like very it just lacks a lot of personality in the way that like his first TARDIS I think is like really weird and
Yeah.
insane and
Yeah.
represents in a way like the whole season as well.
very Charlie and Chocolate Factory kind of vibes.
Yeah, or like like Jackson Pollock painting as well,
Yeah.
like all distorted and weird, and you couldn't really orient yourself. Whereas this is like, it's very like it's a bit scary looking for Smith.
but
Smith,
I really like it when Capaldi's in it.
one's Capaldi, but that's a
Yeah.
different TARDIS basically because they completely kit it out differently. This
Yeah.
doesn't have bookshelves in it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I
you know,
agree. It's not as good, but
Capaldi's TARDIS
I
is the
still
best.
don't really care that much. Like, I still like it,
Yeah, sure.
and I like the fact that it's a full 3D set.
Yeah, no, that is good, and it leads to so many cinematic
But yeah,
moments.
Snowman. I don't know. I can't remember it.
Richard E. Grant is in it. It's the great intelligence thing. They want to do something. It's all right. It's not good. It's
Clara
not.
dies in it.
Clara dies in it again. It's
Yeah.
like, what the hell?
Why
So
does
then-
this woman keep dying?
But and it's so irrelevant. Like you could skip this. This is what
Yeah.
my problem is like other than the great intelligence stuff,
which is
like,
really important.
which is really
to
because it
everything.
comes back.
Yeah.
It comes back in his
Yeah.
like finale or the sort of lead up to his finale. But like. Clara Oswald isn't even her establishment of the companion, and it becomes tedious when you set her up like 3 times.
I know.
That's really
Speaking of
tiredness.
which, he's going to set
Bells
her
of
up
St.
again.
John.
7 out of 10.
Again. And this is much.
We really like this one.
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
There's loads of like filmic stuff that they're trying to do with this episode that I really like. There's loads
Yeah.
of shots that I really like. And actually, once like shit gets going and he starts solving the day and he's like chatting to Clara,
It's
I really
just
like their
peak
chat.
Matt Smith. It's like Matt Smith, from this point onwards, he's just like the full Doctor. He's like the best he's ever been. He like really comes into the role.
Yeah.
And he's got a completely new costume and it looks so good. And he's just like so great at just like he kind of like charms Clara in this like
Yeah.
quite innocent, cute way.
Yeah.
And he looks after her and he's got
Yeah.
this kind of like paternal like relationship with Clara.
Yeah.
And it's really sweet. And the fact that there's these huge action set pieces
Yeah.
as well with a plane crashing.
Contrasting with like really sweet, like kind of quirky, like interactions, which aren't
Yeah.
which are like nice as well. They're fun and playful. I love the shot of him like standing outside a house under the street lamp, like working
Yeah,
away in
yeah.
front of his TARDIS.
And I do
Looks
like
so
Clara
nice.
in this
Yes.
as well.
And what
I
this
think
episode
I was just a bit bummed out that it wasn't Oswald.
Yes, I
Yeah.
know. But once you get past that and you take it on for what it is, it's okay. The
Yeah.
plot's all right. They're taking in people into the computer stuff. But like what this episode does really nice is it goes from like really calm, gentle like moments of just slowness where they're establishing Clara and the Doctor's relationship and them chatting to suddenly like boof, now we're like going really fast. The example that I think of is him waiting outside his house. She comes down, brings him a cup of tea, they start chatting, it's really gentle. Then he sees the plane, he's like, we gotta go right now. Gets
Yeah.
in the TARDIS. It looks like one shot. They go for the full swoop, and he does it
Yeah.
all like that, and it's so smoothly
Yeah,
done and
yeah.
nice. And then they're in that plane, and suddenly we're off, and
Yeah,
like it's
because
really
Clara's supposed
energized.
to be like the Sarah Jane She's trying to be like
Yeah,
Sarah
she's
Jane.
like a Sarah Jane.
And I
She's
think-
definitely like working in that
I think
framework.
they should have just made her a journalist rather than a teacher.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. She's fine, you know. She is fine. And I actually quite like what they do with her character.
Yeah, because she's not in love with Matt Smith.
She is a bit in this. She's very flirty, but she's not in love.
She's
no.
attracted to him.
Yes.
But she's not like, oh.
Yes.
She's not got that like, oh, like the
She's
Amy Martha
Amy
shit.
Rose. Yeah.
It's more of a Donna thing more than anything.
Yeah, but there's that bit of, oh, you're a bit sexy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but
she's-
it's not.
yeah.
It's she doesn't need to be with him. She's not that
Except
fussed
she's
about.
not as funny as Donna.
She's not as
yeah.
funny. She's not as interesting as any of the companions, but she is fine.
But she's not as annoying as the other.
She's not as annoying as some companions could be annoying. Yeah, I would have liked some
She's
more
just
conflict
really.
between her
She's
and
quite
the Doctor.
bog standard companion.
I love her
really.
when he first comes to her house and how weird like she thinks he is and
Yeah.
how fucking like strange. She's like, no, go away, you're a weirdo.
You're a monk.
You're a monk. You're dressed like a monk. But yeah, no, it's good, man. And then the
Spoonheads.
Spoonheads, I like them as
Yeah.
well. I think they're really weird, quirky.
They're never
robot
coming
things.
back,
They're
but I
never
don't
coming
mind.
back as a one-off.
Yeah.
They're fun. They work.
They do the job.
And I think conceptually the way of sucking people into like this computer network is like kind of interesting and built on later on as well in a really interesting way. So yeah, it's good, man. I think it's a decent episode and it gets overlooked.
It's a good one to show people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love one of the scenes I really love is when he's like doing hacking shit because it's all the Doctor doing super hacking. There's loads of that, and he's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I'm an alien. Do you have a problem with that?" And she's like, "No, that's fine." He's like, "Great." It's like that's
Over.
Yeah,
Done.
that's really nice.
Sorted.
Like stuff like that.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
just kind of jumps through those things and focuses on the story and then kind of getting to know each other instead.
Yeah, yeah,
as
yeah.
opposed to introducing the Doctor as a concept,
It's
and
good,
that's
though.
cool. Yeah, it is good.
All right.
Cold War. Oh
6
man,
out of
I
10.
think we may have underrated this episode
think we
because the
did.
more I think about it, the more I like it.
I
as
really
well.
like Cold War.
Yeah, because Cold War, it starts
It
again.
just
It's
is
like
so
a great
funny.
genre piece.
He's supposed to be taking us somewhere warm. Yeah, and he's wearing sunglasses. And he's just like, it's like a fucking Russian submarine. It's in the
Yeah.
middle of crashing.
in the middle of the Cold War,
In the
and
middle.
then they've got a Martian on there,
Yeah.
and they're great. And the
Ice
reintroduction,
Warriors are
the Ice Warriors,
sick,
and it's so
yeah.
fun when he gets out of his costume, and like suddenly we go from like it's a total reference to like. Cold War movies and war movies to suddenly Alien, and
Yeah.
he's doing an Alien thing
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
and he's like scuttling all about. I really like that, and this episode is like fucking tense as
Yeah.
well because it's like them just stopping nukes from going off at the very last minute,
Yeah.
and I love Clara taking that in because
Yeah.
it's like her first adventure
it's
with
like,
the Doctor,
welcome.
and she's
Yeah.
like fucking scarred, and she's
Yeah.
like, oh my god, this is what it's always like with you, isn't it? He's like, yeah, that's what it is. And she's like, great, okay. And she's like, I understand now. This is what we do. We don't just go on little space holidays.
Yeah.
We do this every
every
time
time,
we go
yeah.
on a travel. And her realizing that and adjusting to that and actually taking that on really fully was really fun. Is really fun to watch
Yeah, yeah.
amidst this
I
Cold
like
War
the
setting.
old sea captain.
Yeah.
Who's the Onion Knight
The onion type.
from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's just tight, man.
Yeah.
It's just tight. And
I
Smith
like that they're
again.
Russian.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Smith interacting with all the Russians is
Yeah.
really funny as well.
It's really classic Who. It
It's
really
really
does become
classic Who.
classic Who.
It
yeah.
feels classic
Yeah,
Whoey,
yeah.
but because it is like a throwback to the 80s
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
But it's got all this great Smith stuff, and
Yeah.
Smith is really great in it. So.
Because it's quite weird because it's like Moffat reinvents his vision of Who halfway through Matt Smith's last season.
No, well, because he reinvents it from here, he just gets off to a really slow start, and then
Yeah.
once Clara's in, he's doing it full throttle.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's just completely like reapproached it from a new angle.
Yeah.
Which is like clearly like this genre. Doctor Who always plays with genre. I mean, the first two-parter in season 2 is a bit of a genre play as well.
Of what genre?
Like spy, espionage, like conspiracy theories, like
Yeah.
alien abduction stuff, alien movies as well. Close Encounters of the Third Time, but this really runs with it and keeps it tighter. It's not drawing from as many things. It's a little bit more concise because actually, the moment you take in a set genre and then throw in a time traveler in there, suddenly it becomes odd.
The Ice Warrior is really cool. As
Yes,
well.
he's a really
I'm really
interesting
glad
character.
that he got brought back.
I also
and his
really
voice
like-
is really great too.
I also really like the fact that the Doctor knows him and is aware of him, and they have a
He's like a wonderful, great, spectacular warrior.
Yeah.
Then they find him in the ice, similar to how they did
Yeah.
the original.
Yeah, and they have him on
Yeah.
the sub. It's great,
Yeah.
really good. Again, really worth watching.
We've underrated it.
We've underrated it for sure. It's either a 7
Or an 8,
or an
yeah.
8.
Yeah.
This is a sore underrating because
Yeah.
it's at least as good as A Town Called Mercy.
Yeah, I would say so.
we fucked that up then.
Well, I don't know.
Probably a bit of it. No, it's good.
A Town Called Mercy's got more thematic stuff going for it.
Yeah, but this has like so much more like raw tension comparatively.
Raw tension.
Right, because you got the running through the
Cold
corridor.
War has raw tension.
Because he starts he's killing people with all his claws and shit, taking them into the dark. Really nice. Like I love that. Like and it's kind of a bit scary at points. Like it works. It doesn't shy away too much from that. Good episode. Like definitely watch that.
Not 6 out of 10.
Not 6 out of 10. 8 out of 10.
We're gonna get rid of that.
We might even recalculate it with that in mind.
We're gonna get rid of that right now.
Yeah, we're gonna edit it. This needs an edit. This severely is.
Now 78.
78 out of
100.
That's right.
And you guys are gonna be happy. All right.
Rings of Akaten. Now this is a bit dumber.
This is Neil Cross.
Oh really?
Doom, doom, doom. Love is on. Da, da, da,
What do you think of Rings of Akaten then?
Okay, so I've been through so much. I've been through it all. Eat me. Suck me. I know I'm 1,000 billion.
When you've seen the amount of war I've seen, the death I've seen, lost as many people as I've lost. Take it.
Take it all. And then Clara's
bit.
like, no.
Take this leaf.
Take this ring. No, it's a ring.
No, it's a leaf.
Oh yeah, the leaf. Yeah,
it's the leaf. It's the leaf that got my mum and dad together, but they never seem to have a good marriage. The mum and dad, Clara's mum.
Are they even in it?
They are in it. Yeah, you see them briefly. Despite that,
the alien world is
so
sick.
good, so
Oh
good.
My
it's
God.
one of the best alien worlds that Doctor Who conceived.
I'm like, oh, Neil Cross would be quite good as a Doctor Who showrunner.
Yeah, and you see this, definitely. And actually, we make fun of it. The speech isn't really that bad. The leaf thing is a bit dumb. It's well performed. Matt Smith carries it. It looks really good.
Yeah.
Like, this whole episode looks great.
I do like the idea of the currency being sentimentality.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. And that's such a great idea. And also just the song that
it's great.
Is a great theme.
Murray Gold,
which is great. Like that to me is like one of the best tracks that Smith's season had musically brought into it, and that theme comes back as well, continuously.
This season's coming out with some bangers.
It's sick. It's so good.
I'm not a fan of Snowman, or the Chibnall ones,
or the Dalek in Manhattan. But other than that, there's so many.
In Manhattan's not this season. But
I meant Asylum of the Daleks. But this season is there's some really fun, really good Doctor Who episodes, and in a way because it starts midway through, they've shifted the convolutedness, and you can
Clara shit is pretty good in this as well.
Yeah, with her parents, that you see, it's kind of interesting.
Is this the one where they do the memory wipe thing? Or is that another one?
I think it might be another one. I don't remember memory wiping. I don't think
that's in the TARDIS one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Which is also Neil Cross.
Oh.
Which is why. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. But this is good. And then the feeding the planet thing. There's lots about this that's really good, actually. And it does look really fantastic. It looks so good. Budget, looks great.
Yeah.
And the tension's nice, and it's a different type of conflict as well, and that's what I like.
It's
not
eating kids. It's eating little babies.
They're sacrificing it. So
not the children.
Again,
somebody
really well.
Think of the children.
At this point, you could going into on Bells of St. John. You're just going to have a great time.
Absolutely.
Really, generally speaking, we did. And then Hyde, which it's a bit slow. I think that's his biggest problem. But
his post is dramatic.
I know. This is when they started really taking this genre, because this is when they start taking their genre play shit so seriously. Bit scary at points, which I liked. Yeah. And there's a really the one really thing that sets this episode apart in the great way, which I showed you, and we watched together. Is there's this great bit where the Doctor's trying to solve the conflict, and there's this ghost that keeps on being set. I really like the sort of reveal with that as well. I think that's really interesting. But there's a great sequence where the Doctor goes from the beginning to the end of time, and his TARDIS stays in the same place, and he takes pictures in every location, and then it just fucks with Clara, and that's so great.
Yeah, because they go through the beginning of Earth to the end of Earth.
Yes.
Like within what 4 minutes.
Yeah. He just uses his TARDIS as completely normal for the Doctor, but it completely blows her mind and freaks out.
I'm dead
right now.
I've been dead for millions of years.
Yes. we must all seem like we're just here for blips, like
Yeah.
little instances. We must seem like a flash in the way that
Yeah.
like a ghost is a flash. So there's that, and like, and I like how it goes into this weird sci-fi realm where it starts as this really great ghost story. Also, it's worth saying 60s aesthetic here
It's
all the
sick,
time.
yeah.
It looks really nice.
And the Doctor and Clara, they look really good.
They
together.
look really good together
they
in this
swing in,
aesthetically, and all that kind of relationship is being developed in a great way, I think, and it's kind of a great set. It looks really good, and then when you reveal that it's actually like a time traveler, like stuck in a pocket universe, and they got to get around. I think that's so fun. Like, it's so fun, and it gets a bit hammy and with
It's a
the
bit
bringing the
bloated.
monsters, and
Yeah.
it is a bit bloated. And
I'm not sure
it is
about the
definitely a
two
6.
scientist characters as well.
Yes, they're a bit. Oh, I love you, and that's a bit.
Love saves the day.
It's a bit love saves the day,
Yeah.
but that sequence where the Doctor travels back in time is kind of worth watching for that, because I think it looks really good, and it's just fun seeing time travel just happen like that.
Yeah.
And it's fun. And Clara's speech is really good, I think pretty good in that as well. And it's a really good standout
Hyde's
moment. For her.
TARDIS scene, well good.
Yeah, well, good. Check it out, man. Hyde, yeah, some good shit.
Journey to the centre of the TARDIS. Ooh,
This
nice poster.
is
Fucking hell.
thanks, yeah. It's good, isn't it?
It makes it look way better than it actually is.
Yeah, it does.
I
Because
think this is Neil Cross as well, but I'm not
so
sure. Don't quote me on
this.
that.
This is disappointing, sadly, because it's such a great.
Because Neil Gaiman had it figured out already.
Yeah, and the idea of going into the TARDIS,
These
like
weird scrap dealers.
Yeah.
And one of them's like a robot.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
It's just a shame that you take the TARDIS, which should be like interesting as this infinite spaceship. It's been established for so long, and this is like a real deep dive into it. And actually, the TARDIS looks pretty proper bland. There's not
Yeah.
that many interesting places that they go to in the TARDIS, and it's just not that like good. I can't really. It's really hard
It's
to
got
retain
good
it.
parts of it.
It
though.
does have good
I
parts.
like the fact that the TARDIS doesn't like Clara,
Yes, that's fine.
like
yeah.
most of the fan base.
Yeah.
And then he's got bits where there's scenes and it's like memory wipes and
Yeah.
it's like wibbly wobbly.
Yeah.
And the Doctor's like really fucking cunty to these guys.
Yes, he is. He
These-
hates them. He really
and that's
hates
really
them.
fun.
Yeah.
And it's got it's quite action packed, and it's got these like weird like people that are like they're all like dead people. They're dead versions of them.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So it's got loads going for it. That's
Yeah.
why it's a 6 out of 10.
It is a 6 out of 10.
We just see wasted potential.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is it does feel disappointing, but it there's a lot of fun to it. Again, it's definitely kind of like worth
Because
watching.
it would have been so sick if as we were going through, it was like, oh, it's Rose's bedroom.
Yeah,
Or like,
as they get deeper into it, you
It's
just
just
see like
this
all
massive
these
library.
all these a space that actually feels like it's being lived in to a degree,
Yeah.
and then suddenly you go somewhere else and it's like a beach,
You
and
know
then
what
the
it
dog's
should
like,
have
oh,
been?
this is my beach room.
It should have been a horror movie.
Yeah.
Where the Doctor was like the antagonist, and the three guys that break in are like the protagonists, and the Doctor's like torturing them.
Yeah, that could be really good. Yeah, I don't know.
Because the Doctor, the TARDIS is, because the TARDIS security measures trigger.
To me, yeah, that's what it should have been. It should have been like a deep exploration of like the TARDIS and it as a living space, as opposed to this like
This
sentient
idea of
spaceship.
infinite time and space existing in one small like area.
Yeah.
Like you could do loads of weird stuff. Like there's don't they do in like Potter inside a suitcase? He's got a whole like zoo.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How good would it be if the Doctor had an alien zoo in his TARDIS that he
Yeah.
forgot about? Like,
Yeah.
there's just like, there's none of that in it. There's
Yeah.
lots of like corridors and scary places, and it's like, that's it. But it's all right.
It's all right. The Crimson Horror. What the fuck is this?
I don't even remember.
This is another Victorian episode. Oh yeah. This is the one that establishes like more of the Sontaran and the Silurian
as
people.
characters.
And is that old woman the villain?
Probably.
It's written by
literally-
Mark Gatiss.
This is why we
Yeah.
don't like Mark Gatiss episodes. We can never like.
Even though I don't like Mark Gatiss' episodes,
I'd
I would
still
still
wanna
want to
be
see him
interested in
showrunning
showrunning, 'cause he has
would
lots
make it just so over the top and whack.
Yeah.
Like it'd be so weird. Like the Doctor would probably be like a hello, welcome to my
Yeah.
factory.
I have no
Yeah,
idea.
I don't know.
5 out of 10.
5 out of 10. Don't watch it. It's
Come on,
forgettable.
man. Come on, man.
We should give it a go. I reckon sometime.
Yeah.
'Cause
Maybe
it
tonight.
might have little little bits in it, like little bits.
Yeah, this season is pretty decent. All right. Nightmare in Silver.
10 out of 10. Oh, I know what you're doing. You're crying right now. You're screaming. How dare you rate Nightmare in Silver a 10 out of 10? What are you guys? Just who do you think you are?
To me, this is like a really great example of a really well done campy Doctor Who episode, basically. But it's like done so well.
I love
that
every
I enjoy
single thing of this so much. Like, it's just so good. I love Cybermen.
Cybermen are sick.
Cybermen are sick, and this is just like the
this
best
is the most
Cyberman.
interesting Cyberman episode, because so many Cybermen episodes is Cybermen coming and just like killing a bunch of people, and that's what they do, and they're like very logical, obviously. But the Doctor having a brain battle with the cyber controller is just jokes as fuck, and the way
Matt
that battle
Smith is
exists,
killing it.
his performance is so fun watching him switch between the cyber controller and like the Doctor, and having him converse with himself, and having that fuck with Clara as well, and seeing how he tries to manipulate people, and the kids are there, and the stakes are pretty high because you're like, fuck, they've been converted. It's like
insane.
Really fun. It's really fun, and
really good.
and that's got the midget guy in it.
Do you think people don't like this one because it introduces the Cybermen, the new Cybermen designs, who have circular mouths and circular eyes? It always looks like they're
like little mime men, especially the way they move. They're like, they look really shy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
people hate
so.
this?
I think it's a weird one. I think that people are just split on this, just because it is really like a bit far out, and it is really wacky and weird.
I just think it's wonderful, though.
But it is wonderful. It's whimsical. The weird fairground setting is like really great.
Our friends was
Smith,
like, "Oh yeah, I don't like Matt Smith," and we've made them watch it.
Yeah, and we made them watch Nightmare
and
in
they
Silver.
were like, "That was sick."
Yeah, and like I really love, because I even love the fact that the background that he has when he's like talking to the cyber controller is kind of like not that like clear or good looking. Yeah. It's kind of weird. Yeah. And it's like embraces the fact that this is kind of goofy.
I think
and it
this
runs
episode
with it.
just fully like, this episode fully just is. It's similar to how Blink was of the Moffat era. Yeah. Like the 10 out of 10 episode. This for me is like the best of the Smith era.
But in a way, it's also the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah,
where it's like Moffat is like the deep, dark, serious. This is, it still has stakes and it still does feel serious. But this has got loads of really campy aspects, but they're just executed very well, and I think in a modern way as well.
It's
like
great. It's great for kids as well because it's genuinely like scary to see the main character that you like becomes so like and the Cybermen coming in and invading, it feels all a bit hopeless, and I love the kind of setting where it's like the Cybermen have fucked up so much. There's this black hole in the sky. It feels really dire, and then the universe building is wonderful. It's
really wonderful, and really suited to Smith. Like this is really like what I wish the tone of Smith's universe hit more frequently. Was when it does, you're like, this is really like what suits the Matt Smith Doctor, and when I think of it, this is what his universe feels like to me.
Should be showrunner.
Neil Gaiman for showrunner.
He's got experience now. I reckon he's only made American Gods.
Yeah.
So that he can get onto the Doctor Who
He just wants the Doctor Who
He needed
job,
experience, though. He didn't have any showrunning experience. But Smith, he's got that now.
And it's meant to be really good.
Yeah.
But Smith is great in this as well. I think this is one of Smith's like better... Well, he's really good in most of his episodes.
He's really good in everything, because he's great.
He's really great.
But he's really, really, really good in this.
He's just really fun. It's really fun to watch him as an actor.
I can't imagine any other Doctor doing this as well as Smith.
There's a reason why Smith's Doctor so often has like duplicates of himself or interacts with other versions of himself. And it's because he's really fun, and it's really fun to pit him against someone who's the same as him and see how excited he gets. I like seeing him enjoy this sort of game of chess.
Yeah, he just fancied a game of chess.
That's it. He gets the cyber controller to do it because he couldn't play chess with the other Cyberman, so he plays it with the cyber controller.
It's great,
really fantastic, really, and the way he beats him is really fun.
If you somehow haven't seen this one, this should be top priority, and if you don't like it, tell us why.
Yeah, let us know. Come on, we need to know. Name of the Doctor. This is so forgettable.
Who?
This is that
I know
like
which one it is.
post finale episode.
This is the
got-
Moffat
This is where
shitting
Richard.
his pants.
This is where Richard E. Grant comes
We
back
were watching this, and it was a bit when they're just outside Trenzalore.
with the giant TARDIS.
No, they're just outside it, and the Great Intelligent comes up, and the Silence people are there.
No, it's not. It's weird top hat people with weird mouths.
Oh yeah, it's the top hat people with weird mouths, and Richard E. Grant, and they're outside the TARDIS, and they're just going. Blah, 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 blah,
And the doctor's going.
and then the Sontaran's like.
Is there a Sontaran?
Yeah, and
Oh,
the
is there
Silurian
really?
woman,
Yeah.
and Clara's there going. Bleh. And then River Song's following him and going. Bleh.
It's all about, and this is,
And I'm just like, what the fuck is happening?
yeah, isn't
what
it all
is
like
this?
it's his funeral, it's his grave, and this is where you're gonna
Why
die.
do we give it a 5 and not like a 3 or a 4? I guess because it's not like particularly.
It's
like,
not
offensive.
particularly offensive. It never
Yeah.
fucked us off at any
Yeah.
point. We were just like,
I like the
"Ugh."
River Song bit.
Yeah. I think there is things that, and I like the aesthetic. It looks
I love
pretty
the
good.
giant TARDIS.
Yeah,
as
that
his
as his
tombstone. Doesn't make
tombstone.
any
No.
sense though.
Well, they explained it in terms of like the TARDIS is like matching. No, what they said is like the TARDIS is like the outside is matching what's the inside. Cause
No,
it
I
can't
know, but
maintain
he
it.
doesn't actually die,
No.
so it doesn't make any sense.
Yes.
And so, whose time stream is he going into?
Oh, yeah, well, it's because Clara jumps in and saves him in all his time streams. That's what happens. That's the twist.
So
That's what happens in this one, isn't it?
Do you know what I think? I think Clara jumping into the time streams to save the Doctor.
Saved him then as well, because it kills the great intelligence.
Yeah, to save him at all the different points in time was a setup for the 50th anniversary so that they could do loads of classic Doctors and stories like that. But then I think Moffat was just like, oh, fuck it. I can't do that.
That's effort.
So then it doesn't... I feel like it's the best setup ever to have like classic Who be redone.
Yeah.
Because now you've got Clara on a mission to constantly save all these different versions of the Doctor.
Yeah.
And it's just like like CG'd into classic
Yeah,
footage.
yeah,
you
yeah,
know? Hello.
And that's the twist. And,
And
it's
also,
like,
it's like you could have shown Clara a bit more. Well, he didn't think it through, so obviously he wouldn't
Yeah.
put Clara in more Amy Pond episodes because he didn't plan any of this.
no, so it's, yeah, it's,
But I like the idea of him dying, and it's a huge TARDIS.
yeah, and like the best thing with this season is like the finale is like
Do you think it's canon that when a Time Lord dies, they always have that like
big
thing
TARDIS.
that anyone can just jump in? Whoa!
No, because I think it was that is the great intelligence,
Oh, was it?
something like that.
So she jumps in. No, the Great Intelligence jumps into it, and she's like, "No," and she goes after him.
No, I have no idea.
I have no idea. Something like that.
Is that in the TARDIS as well?
Yeah, they're in the TARDIS. Yeah.
Yeah, it's alright, isn't it? It's like a 5 out of 10. It's one of those episodes. It's like it's also like that red herring setup for the finale, basically.
Because it's really weird because they established that they established that Clara's gone back in time multiple times and saved the Doctor multiple times, and then in the episode afterwards, which we can go straight into, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Day of the Doctor,
Day of the
8 out of
Doctor.
10.
8 out
That'd be
of 10.
brilliant
It
episode.
is really good, yeah.
But she's like, oh, I know the Doctor, like I know him.
Yeah.
So does she remember all the time she saved him?
I don't know. I don't know, maybe. Yeah. But
But anyway, Day of the Doctor.
this is good.
David Tennant comes back.
And this is where
looking
this is an
a bit
idea
different.
And this is an idea like not too different though, you know.
Yeah.
Where it doesn't. And this is an idea which like the War Doctor works. Like he's nice enough where I'm like, okay. Unlike fucking River Song being like Amy's mate for ages.
Yeah.
The War Doctor kind of like works.
kind of does
and it's
work,
framed
yeah.
really nicely.
So technically, Jodie Whittaker's the 14th Doctor,
Yeah.
but we're not gonna. No one does that, right? Do they just call John Hurt like 8.5?
Yeah, I guess. He's the forgotten Doctor.
He's-
He's the War Doctor. He's not even the Doctor. He
He's-
didn't go by that name.
John Hurt is bloody brilliant.
He's
in
so
this.
good.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah.
Shame he
so
died.
class.
I'd love to have
Yeah.
seen him to be more
Yeah.
active.
But this episode's just really fun. It's just
Yeah.
really fucking fun.
Zygons come back.
Zygons are back. They're
like
fun. The whole conflict with the Time War and the Doctors chilling out with themselves.
Yeah,
and-
the Moffat has to pick up the pieces that Russell awkwardly left for him, being like, I switched a switch and I
He develops the Time War
killed
in a
all
really
of
interesting
everyone.
way.
Yeah, and he makes that sort of make sense.
And he makes it
deals
work with
that.
his character
Yeah.
in a really nice way.
Yeah.
Like this episode's like, I mean, it is great. It's like really classically Doctor Who. It's like Moffat really like pulls it through with this. Like
he
he
should have
does
put
so
River
well.
Song in this, I think.
I don't know, man. Like because
No.
to me this is tight. It's like
Because he
concise.
does in the book.
Don't.
No, he
You're
does.
not doing this.
He
You're
does
not going to.
No, in the novelization, he puts David Tennant with River Song, and it makes sense because when River Song sees the Doctor in Silence in the Library, she doesn't go, "Oh, I've never seen this face." She just goes, "Oh, hello, sweetie." She doesn't notice that. So if they had made her see this version of the Doctor for the first time, and she'd be like, "Oh, I like this face. Like it's good looking," then it would chronologically make more sense. And that was the only time Moffat could have done that.
So yeah, what do you think that's this? Because it's an 8 out of 10. It's not a 10 out of 10. It's not a 9 out of 10. Obviously, this is a big one.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I think it's fun. I just think it. I think it's got loads of weird shit that's like weird about this episode. Like Clara's sort of there, but she doesn't really do a whole lot.
No.
And then like the Doctor doesn't remember that he doesn't kill all the Time Lords, and then they break out the painting. They say put the painting in the vault, and then they break out of it. But like how did they break out of it?
Yeah.
Like that doesn't make any sense.
It is all a bit.
Like did he just?
It can be. It's a bit.
Did they just wait there for 8? How did they know the right time?
There's a couple of leaps of assumption you have to make to be able to enjoy what the sort of essence of this is, what the core of it is, which is Matt Smith and Tennant and John Hurt all performing together, and all of that is like exactly what it should be.
If Christopher Eccleston was in it, it'd be 10 out of 10.
If Eccleston was in it, we'd be so stoked.
It'd be 10 out of 10.
But like all their interactions are really well written.
He said it'd be in the 100th anniversary, so
wait till then.
We'll wait until then.
But all their interactions are really good, and that's
I like
that's
that Billy
the heart
Piper's
of it.
in it too.
And Billy Piper makes
but it's not in a bloated way. It's in a nice way.
It is. Yeah, I like that a lot as well. Yeah, really. Yeah, it's proper good. It's just proper good.
It's fun. It's really good to see David Tennant come back.
Because I mean, I don't know. Like this shit is like.
And him and Matt Smith have a great chemistry
together. This shit is like such a fun way to start playing out the finale.
And Capaldi's very briefly in it, which is great.
His
eyebrows,
and their chemistry is just superb. And it feels
really...
really...
the Time Lord shit either. The Time Lord shit's good.
And it feels really large scale, yeah.
Tom Baker at the end as well.
Tom Baker, yeah. It gives you all that. It gives you everything you want. Like, it is good. It's a proper satisfying watch.
Yeah.
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. Time of the Doctor.
Now this... I think
it's great,
it's so fucking
Maybe we
good.
should have given it a 10.
I know, we should have given it a 10. I know, I felt this in my heart of hearts. This is the best regeneration story ever.
Of all time.
No, it is. Name a better regeneration story. You can't.
Christmas Invasion.
Fuck off. Smith is so good in this.
His
it's
companion
funny.
is a talking Cyberman head.
Yes.
And it's sick.
It's so sick. His relationship with the talking, it goes proper Winston with it. You know, him protecting this world called Christmas. I don't even mind the Christmas thing.
I don't even mind the wooden Cybermen.
No.
I like it all.
It's so Doctor Who-y. It's so like there's a couple of things. You know, the Time Lord's giving him more regenerations and all that. It's like fine. But what it is like the emotional core to this is so strong. It's Matt Smith's journey, and the exploration of Matt Smith's Doctor as a character in this episode alone is so good. Watching him grow old, it's the first time he's learned to stay in one place, and watching him grow old and become like fucked in the head from just constantly saving people
to protect the Time Lords.
Yeah, and learning to just love being around in an environment. But also that sense that he's like desperate to run away constantly. Is so good.
It's really touching.
And that final speech that he gives is just the best Doctor Who speech, like full stop in New Who.
And the regeneration's wonderful.
And
too.
the regeneration's wonderful. It's not the burst, it's
yeah,
up and down. Suddenly he's gone and you don't even have time to process or cry. It's like you get this whole heart-wrenching speech and it doesn't even give you the catharsis of like a lengthy goodbye. It's like the complete opposite of Eccleston, where it's like very brief and then an explosion and a slow transformation. Smith is like, he just really reflects on himself, and it's so beautifully performed, and it's so interesting as a concept. And there's loads of fun stuff because there's like before he even gets to the Earth, there's him talking to the woman and she ends up becoming like a Dalek, and they have a flirty thing, and that's kind of really sad and fun, and you like her. There's him visiting Clara's family at Christmas, and he's completely naked, and he's like hello, and they're all uncomfortable, and that's really funny as well. It's got everything you want in it, and it looks great. Time of the Doctor, man.
Let's change it to a 10.
Let's give it a 10. Sorry.
It's going to be a 10.
You know, sometimes you feel a bit cunty when you do. You want to be a bit cunty when you do these listings, but you should, on retrospect, we changed the
78.
We gave this
It's a 7, right?
I think it should be an 8. All right, 7. Yeah, all right. Not out of 100 though.
Why?
Because it's out of 10, isn't it?
It's not that bad.
Yeah, and basically like the time of the Doctor.
Let's recalculate.
Oh yeah, we're gonna recalculate. We're gonna cut this.
We'll cut this out.
6.4. Great.
Made a huge difference, that did.
All right, but yeah.
All right, we're back.
Essentially, this is the best regeneration story the Doctor's ever had.
So the final rating is a
6.4 out of 10. This season,
bloody
I
brilliant.
really like it, man. It's the best Smith
Chibnall
guts.
lets it down big time.
Chibnall does, yeah. But actually, like when you get into Clara Oswald and stuff, this actually is surprisingly a consistent series. It's a bit unclear as to like what its overarching plot is.
Yeah.
But by the time you get to the finale and you get Day of the Doctor, none of that really matters.
Yeah. Well, it's more about the Time Lords, really.
Yeah.
If you were to sum up all 16 episodes that make up season 7. It's sort of about the first half is sort of about like Amy and Rory, I guess, their relationship, you know, what she's willing to sacrifice everying to be with Rory at the end, which is completely different to how she was when we first met Amy.
Because she's divorced with Rory in the season as well.
Yeah, that's a separate thing. Then we get to Clara. It's more about trying to figure out who Clara is. The impossible girl. Who are you?
You're so impossible.
And then also, what the hell is going on with these bloody Time Lords?
And
I'm going to figure it out.
And you get all the really fun genre play as well, like consistently with this. And there's so many like loads of
Nightmare in Silver, and you've got the what's it called? Day of the Doctor? Is it the what's the Christmas one called?
Oh, the Time of the Doctor.
Time of the Doctor.
Yeah, the Time of the Doctor.
Time of the Doctor. Nightmare in Silver.
Oh God, just so
more
fucking
episodes
great.
like
That's
that.
what you want,
Yeah.
like really. And there's
Bells of St. John's
and
fun.
Bells of St. John. There's so many good 7s in this,
Yeah.
which is like above 6s,
Yeah.
and then there's a bunch of 6s which are all fine.
Yeah.
There's great stuff in the Smith
I don't think
season.
anything's under apart from Chibnall's 2.
Yeah,
which ruin it.
Which they really set it back. And then the first.
Though Power 3 isn't even that bad.
Power 3 isn't
just
even
the
that bad.
ending.
You can watch it. You can watch it. So because when we finished this, we ended up going Smith is amazing, and actually that is what this season does.
Yeah, it makes you really like Matt Smith.
And it makes
so we
you really
were
love
wrong
Moffat.
when Smith first came out.
We were, because we wrote him off for ages.
Wrote him off for ages.
And actually, like Smith's entire run as well, like each of his seasons. The middle one is really, really tough, but I really like it because each season is trying something completely different from the last one. It's always trying to try something else out. It never lets itself get bogged down in formula. And so it's like constantly ambitious. And sure, when that ambition fails, it is really like not good. But actually when it's working, it's like the best Doctor Who can be. And it's like so great. And that formula only gets better with Capaldi, which we'll get into.
We'll get into next
episode.
This has been 3 hours.
3 hours. So if you watched all of this,
thank you so much for watching all of this and all of the last one.
Yeah,
we did.
We respect and love you guys tons. We'll
thank you so much.
Out. Yeah, our back hurts. We're exhausted.
Make sure to get some
Genie and the Boy merchandise. And subscribe to DikPix. We're going to be releasing our Capaldi one.
Please let us know
more
your
content
thoughts.
to come.
Don't just be a silent lurker.
No,
Type something.
This is a small. There's not a lot of people here. We're a small community. Let's all chat. We're reading your comments. Let's engage with opinions. We love hearing them. We think they're so great. And if you think we're so wrong on something,
we love that.
We might rant about you, but we still love it. So.
We love if you think we're stupid. We want to hear that.
The truth is like everyone is. Like that's the twist. Everyone's a dumb fucking idiot. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
So
thank you.
Thank you very much. See you next time.